You know, I was massively looking forward to green versus green, but it seems the VP in-game flags, they are tribute to old times. It is Virtus.pro, one of the top 3 teams to go up against Optic Gaming, the American team with everything to prove. I'm here with Cinderin. Hi, Cinderin.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Another game, another draft, another couple of regions for us to watch.
Yep. This is going to be a really interesting game, I think, because these two teams, I think they faced off at a couple of lands in the later portion of the DPC, and VP were generally stronger. I think they've knocked out Optic a couple of times.
It was 2 times. So Optic, to actually qualify through the DPC points, had to actually get a specific place during the major, especially the last one, and it was VP who not once but twice actually blocked them and beat them, so they didn't get enough points to qualify for DPC.
I think there was a final, too, where Optic was against VP and got 3-0'd, right? Something is telling me that Optic, had they won that game, was that the Birmingham major?
No, Birmingham's when they got...
10 seconds remaining.
VP won in Birmingham, right? Was that?
Yeah. VP always wins ESL 1. It's just the way they function.
I may remember it correctly. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, game.
Yep, and I think it's safe to say that Optic, historically, in this matchup, are not favored. They do not have a good win rate against VP, but new patch, new things. People are prepared for
very
TI.
few teams have a good win rate against VP.
That is also a good point, yes. So, there's going to be a first pick Winter Wyvern coming out from Optic, a hero that I was expecting to see a decent amount. It's the first game we see it. Actually, it was played in the game Fnatic versus Liquid that finished on one of the other streams, so it has at least been picked twice now.
Was that the Stomp game or the other game?
That was the Stomp game.
That was the Stomp game, okay.
And VP respond with Crystal Maiden Spectre. I personally feel like Maiden is... It's not getting picked or respected as much as I thought it would. I think when I did my predictions, I maybe put Maiden as most banned. I'm actually curious if that is what I chose.
As you got to dig through it. I know my most banned was meant to be Phoenix. I actually thought Phoenix would have a lot more. You got Phoenix most picked.
I put Phoenix most picked and Maiden most banned. I thought Maiden was going to be banned quite a lot just because... So in this meta, Maiden offers multiple things that are really good. She's strong in both side lanes. Whether she's a 4 or 5, she does a lot with the Crystal Nova. And she gives you the aura. And it's a very easy hero to pick early because it feels like you can build so much around it. Like, every hero benefits from mana.
Yeah.
Every hero benefits from having a lane support that is strong and harassing. And, well, it seems like VP do rate it very high, too. So
hey, I'm happy to cast a game that's not a Wraith King game. Thank you, VP, for banning that out in the 4th.
There will not be a Wraith King in this one.
Yep. It's our first time away from that one. And we actually get the hero which kind of touched upon before, which was the other partner, or the old partner to IO, which is the Tiny, and Optic Gaming are just going to pick him up anyway.
Yep.
5 seconds remaining.
But they're no strangers to this hero, too. So this gives them great repositioning, and not to mention the team fight control that Winter Wyvern can just turn around onto VP. Something important if you're playing against Virtus.pro. You need to be able to stand toe-to-toe with them.
Yeah, they definitely, these two first picks from Optic want to fight, and they have a lot of magic damage early on. So we'll see if they grab some sort of synergy with that, if they want to get some amplification, like Pugna, or they banded themselves first phase, never mind, so they can't grab that. They could still try to build around the type of fights that Wyvern wants to take. Wyvern loves when the fight is concentrated in one area. Wyvern doesn't like getting jumped, and Wyvern doesn't like split fights. So if Optic can enforce that playstyle by having something that 5-mans and pushes that could play to their strength, VP will grab Earthshaker. So another Shaker game.
Another support Shaker as well, more than likely.
Absolutely. This is a very bad lane matchup for Spectre, by the way. The Tiny is rough. He hits really hard and denies the lane very easily against Spectres.
Are you actually seeing that from Optic as a dual lane, the Wyvern and Tiny together?
It's possible. I think that's another nice thing about the Wyvern is you just wait and you decide your lanes in the end, which matchup you want to avoid. Generally, Wyvern doesn't want to lane against heroes that can purge Arctic Burn, so heroes like Abaddon or Legion Commander, but they're not that popular right now, so she won't really be getting those matchups very often.
Yeah. Actually, was it VP? I can't remember like the last time they ran an ES3 position. I know you don't like it, but I remember it used to be one of those small little things they jump between.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to make absolute statements, but I have this feeling that we won't see it the whole tournament as a 3.
Okay.
But who knows? It might be pulled out in a game or two here or there. It's just Not that great. Just watch him be a 3 this game, then I'm going to hate myself. But
That's fine. But as you said, like when we started the game, I'm looking forward to being surprised. So every time that a team does something that we don't think about seeing, it makes it a very interesting world. So
I love this pick.
Vengeful Spirit, very very dynamic as far as lanes, positions, tempo you can run with
exactly.
her.
That's why it's a really nice pick in this slot for the second pick team, because they kind of show very little with this. It could be a 4, it could be a 1, it could be a 3, and it is a really nice partner for Tiny in the game. Tiny has extremely high base damage when he starts skilling Grow, and that makes Vengeance Aura very powerful. It's a classic pairing, actually.
Oh, hello.
Here it comes, Phoenix.
Yeah, so that...
Probably position 3 Phoenix.
Yes. You wait for it.
It could be a 3 Shaker and a 4 Phoenix. It's not out of the question.
Yeah.
It's definitely not out of the question.
It could be. I was expecting Phoenix to appear a lot more as just that support role anyway. But, alright. We get our Flaming Bird against the Ice Bird.
We've seen, this is the second Phoenix pick of the tournament, I think.
Yeah, they had...
EG ran it again.
Yeah, EG had it. Fly had that.
Yeah.
That was in the first round. But no other team, I think, actually grabbed the Phoenix. Not that we saw, at least.
So what I think Optic might be thinking now is Ursa, because they want a hero that can destroy Spectre in lane and is good at killing the egg and is good at laning against Phoenix, or if they assume that maybe they would put Shaker in the side lane, Ursa is also good against that. So I definitely think that's a hero on their radar. It's a pretty good Ursa game, I would say. I think if you don't pick it here, I thought that hero would be a pretty big pick this tournament in general. But if you don't pick it in this kind of game, there's not that many games where you would rate Ursa high then, like if you don't like it here. So
Something to rip apart the egg,
Lena,
you can
maybe?
rip apart the spec. And they actually go Mirana. So magical burst damage through the roof. Sustain, however, maybe not so great.
High
Unless
attack
relying on
speed.
the Wyvern. But yeah, high attack speed, good range, and an easy stun with magical burst.
it's a great hero at killing the egg. So there's multiple synergies here I think that PPD was looking for. The one is he wants to kill the egg. That's why I suggested Ursa, and that's why I suggested Lena for CCNC, because I also know he likes the hero. What Mirana does is it combos really nicely with Curse, so they can curse into arrow. So that's like the extra element that they get out of this, in addition to all the leave.
They banned that Ursa you're talking about.
Yeah.
So we're actually looking at this Mirana as the mid. That's what you're talking about here. No need to play it anywhere else.
That's
Tiny
another
off.
benefit of the Mirana. It can also be a 3.
Yeah, because I know
It's-
Pycat used to play Mirana a hell of a lot.
It can also be a 1, technically.
Ah.
I don't like that as much as the other 2 roles, but it can.
10 seconds
It looks like VP though. I think it's going to be that 2 role, hence they ban out the 1 Ursa position.
5 seconds remaining.
Yes.
And
Ursa can
then-
also be a 3, though.
And then kind of what wraps up the Optic lineup. Like, they got enough range damage to beat into the Phoenix egg.
Oh, they just banned TA. Maybe they do want the Lena after all.
But then you're pushing Mirana into safe.
Or offlane.
Or yeah, true. Off.
You can play Tiny safe lane if you want. Or you just, you know, again, like
Tiny mid, toss back underneath the town. They go with the
Jugger.
Juggernaut. So
that's another great hero against Phoenix. So, yeah, the thing I think we should get a little bit used to when we talk about lanes is to not be too, like, old-fashioned in our thoughts about where the 1 and the 3 go. It's more like these are the cores in the side lanes, and this is the hero that we think, like, the 1 can be in the off lane, and the 3 can be in the safe lane. And you can also just go into the game and have 2 good cores, and then you end up seeing who gets the good game, and that
Yep.
becomes the 1.
yeah.
That's something that we've seen from EG, like I mentioned earlier today, that S4 has started playing Necrophos and these heroes that are lane dominators and have the potential to become the carry of the team in that side lane. So we'll see what they choose to do here. I actually really like this Juggernaut pick. I think it's one of Pycat's best heroes. I think it's very nice against Phoenix. It can buy Silver Edge against Spectre if they need it. And their lineup just looks solid, you know? It's got team fight, it's got catch, its lanes look good.
I'm wondering like what you actually get for no one now. Like where's that damage going to come from? Because I kind of feel like the damage is very underwhelming. Like I was almost thinking like, oh, Shadow Fiend would be like terrific, just to
Lena?
have that nice mix of magical and physical. But I'm worried that he won't be able to
Lena's
survive
not
when he
that
gets
good,
initiated on.
Yeah, Lena's rough here. There's
Yeah.
so much burst.
Yeah.
Swap Tiny.
You
Curse
need
arrow.
someone that can tank. Like obviously, defensive Yield Scepter will be able to keep her alive a little longer, but it just
Yeah,
seems
what
like
is
if
it
you come
here?
too close, Tiny's just going to toss you back. VS rotates in, hit a magic missile, and you're basically gone in the mid. So who can play from a longer range? Who's able to be able to evade. Storm Spirit pickup.
It's pretty good. It's definitely pretty good. The stuns on Optic's side are dodgeable, Venge Stun and Avalanche if you're on the money with it. However, Curse into Arrow is really scary for Storm. And I think this is a very Mirana favored lane. Or very is probably an overstatement, but it is Mirana favored. One of No One's absolutely biggest assets as a player is his ability to win lanes and play extremely aggressively but know the limits at the same time. Storm can't really do that most of the time. Like he's gonna, if he's playing against any ranged hero in lane, you just accept, okay, I can't kill until level 6. Like it's not happening.
What is this cosmetic on solo? Like I know the Arcana's there, but it looks like almost a Marilyn Monroe kind of snow style blow up on the bottom of the CM.
I feel like he has the exact same outfit as I do, doesn't he? Let me see.
It's a lot of particle effects. So he's got the immortal headpiece, and then the
Do
Arcana.
I have the same?
You do, yeah. So you see it there, but there's just no like an ice bit around it.
Well, I can check.
You got
that.
literally the same items as he does.
So which one would that be?
Down to the bow. So it's the Arcana piece underneath. The one where she doesn't have to walk.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But that's just the Arcana, right?
Yeah,
Oh.
it is. It just looks really funny on the Dire side with the way it just spins up now.
Oh, I see.
I don't think it's done that. At least I've never noticed it doing that. And then the Winter Wyvern from come on PPD, where's your skins? I expect a higher class from a TI winner. Anyway, landing wise, let's get ourselves as all the voice lines get out. So it will be duel off 33 and Zai together, VS and Tiny. Bottom lane, it's going to be Pycat onto that Juggernaut with PPD's Wyvern, and then CC towards the mid. Phoenix off lane for Pasha, so it's a 3 position, or it's a core. Let's just stop saying 3 positions. It's a core position. Phoenix, solo. No surprise, he's the sacrificial Crystal Maiden.
You know what?
Yep.
It's a 3 Phoenix, this game.
It's a 3. It's a 3 Phoenix.
Phoenix is not a 1. I don't think you can really...
he's
I
not
don't
a
think-
transition one?
I feel like you don't put Phoenix and you're like, okay, guys, as long as Phoenix is super rich, he's going to carry the game. Like, Phoenix can do a lot of work with farm, but it's not... It's fair to call it a 3 this game.
I think this is actually one of the greatest taunts that was ever made.
30
Just to get all of my cosmetic feelings out straight away. Sunny side up. Yeah, last one, Ramsey's inspect. Top. And Storm mid.
Yep. This is actually a pretty classic lane in a way, Phoenix Shaker, because Phoenix alone is really weak in lane. But if you help the Phoenix by just blocking the wave or giving it a bit of lane presence that it can play around with, it's a lot easier to deal with. So
We're going to have a bit of a rune trade-off. Okay, that's a nice fissure. Pasha was able to get the bounty on bottom, so VP will claim a couple, but Pasha hasn't skilled on purpose just yet. He's holding his Icarus dive in case it's required, and Pycat cannot dive, but some heavy damage very early on. Meanwhile, up on the top, Ramsey's on the run out here, 33, and Zai really looking to hit hard, so they get the runes, but they're burning early consumables.
the amount of regen on these two teams. Pasha started with a Flask and 9 tangos. Zai has Flask and 6 tangos, and 33 has 9 tangos. Like, they know they're going up against a Maiden here. Let's just take it up.
Survive hard, battle hard. Bottom lane, at least, you can have a healing ward for Pycat and PPD, so they've got all the regeneration in the world down here. Last hitting is the only problem against the sprites of Pasha. And then mid lane, no one. CCNC can just play a good lane, like a good range lane against no one.
Yeah, I think Mirana's goal in this lane is just to, at every turn, you just hit the storm when you can. Hit the storm every free hit you can get. No one's done a good job at pushing the lane, though. He got level 2 first and secured himself a couple of CS. But CCNC isn't doing too bad for himself either on the tower.
And they're really going ham up on top. Salve has to be burned from Ramses. 33 is still holding onto the tangos, and Zai will have to use his own salve. And they just come back in again. This early wave of terror bringing Ramses down to, well, only 3 armor. It's still fine, though. Oh, sorry, 2 armor. 3 is a reduction. And they're going to go. Level 2 is up. Magic Missile, Avalanche. No toss because he went for the tree, so Ramses into the tree line. Tries to just jump himself away. The tree toss. Ramses is low. That's the stick charge that gave him that little bit of extra life.
And the dispersion point. He dies there if he has Desolate. I think.
He's
he needed
away.
that. He needed that dispersion. Yeah, they're pressuring the lanes really well here. Well, both teams really are playing very aggressively on the small things, and that's what you're going to see out of the good teams at this tournament in this patch. They will pressure as much as they can to try to get that little advantage as the first blood finally does come in from 33.
They chased him pretty deep.
Yep.
Not a lot of mans to work with. They're not going to follow up into solo. I was waiting for mid lane just to go a little bit weird with CCNC having that double damage room, but hey, that's what happens when you leave casters as observers.
Just blame Scriff somehow.
Yeah, thanks, Griff. Actually, he said he would cast, but then there's just no space in the room.
Thanks, Griff.
Thanks, Griff. That's a nice bit of farm for Tiny.
Oh,
He lost the range creep.
Zai's getting backstabbed. This is tricky.
He's at least got his own creep wave to help him. No, he's got 4 stick charges available to him
actually
solo
smart.
with no point in Frostbite, so just into the Frost Blast.
Never mind. He has sticks and a Fairy Fire and a Tango. And Solo didn't get time for a second Nova, so he's fine.
It's all about survival.
Yep.
They were ready for it, as you said. Like to burn up from PPD. Trying to cause some problems for Roger and Pasha. Pasha, not the greatest on the CS out of all the cores. He's only now just hit the double digits. And hasn't been that as much of a nuisance to Pike as he probably wanted to be. That's 2 full waves coming at him. Pike could even just spin that for farm if he wants to. But not a requirement. Just hold it back. Waiting for Roger just to come in and hit him hard. It's amazing how much times like 33 can just farm underneath the almost his tier 2 tower. Oh, that's a nice fissure. Pykat's body blocked him. Starts to go for the spin, chasing up after Pasha. That spin is going to last not long enough, and he knows that Pasha has stick charges available. Now Roger, with all that damage, hits the stun and the follow-up damage.
That's a bit of an uncharacteristic mistake from Pycat. He actually wasn't even close to getting that kill. Very over-aggressive and changed his mind way too late to back off and gets punished there. So they will grab that kill on Roger, as you said. In the meantime, looking at mid, this is kind of the outcome I was expecting. CCNC with the lead here on Mirana against Storm, playing very aggressively. Has 30 CS already minute 4. Very, very high.
He's almost a full level in front of no one. No one's still got a full creep wave coming into the tower, but that's not the position that no one wanted to be in. They're going again up on top. Avalanche out. Wave of Terror as well as Magic Missiles already connected onto Ramsey. Solo moves over trying to create some space. It was actually the creep wave being pulled to create the space in the first place. Ramses, they're going to toss in Zai, looking for the kill on the spec, able to claim it. Even if Zai dies here, it's all for the greater good. Solo's got Frostbite back off cooldown. He can go on to Tiny, but he won't do it. Meanwhile, in mid, no one underneath the tier 1 tower. PPD does his rotation. CCNC, the Fairy Fly, will make him survive. And then salves up quickly. Really quick, really fast rotations from Optic to get kills in the space of 10 seconds of each other.
Yep. Bounty runes looks like a 3-for-1 split if Solo gets this top one. That is what happens when you rotate for ganks around the 5-minute mark, is that you give up that bounty rune control. But it's still fine getting a 3-for-1 out of that situation.
You're still getting kills on the big heroes, and Miranda as well as Tiny are the #1 as far as net worth goes. So it's a very safe place to be. They're going to go again over towards Ramsey's stun. Avalanche and Toss available. Ramsey's very, very low on life, and again it's the stick charges that will save him. He waited as long as he possibly could. The Spectral Dagger, not enough damage onto 33. Meanwhile, Phoenix gets to die underneath the bottom tier 1 tower almost. And Solo will be fine. More 1 charges. They just burn so many abilities on this top lane that the charges just keep coming the way of VP. And no one actually had to back off the lane.
Yeah, this is something that happens to Storm relatively often. Is if you have a very bad matchup, you just retreat to the jungle a little bit when you're level 4, level 5. Oh, missed that zip, actually. He still lost his range drop. Not too happy with that one, probably. He needs to be careful not to get arrowed here. He can actually die.
Yeah, CCNC's got leap available. He started taking damage from the tower, but 12-1 charger. CCNC looks injured, but has the extra life to play with. Meanwhile, PPD and Pasha. Bird versus Bird. PPD actually doesn't have his Arctic Burn anymore, so he can't just jump away. And Pycat doesn't have the intimidation level of 6 yet, but Zai is the man in real trouble. Ramses and Solo going after him. Frostbite, hold him there. And Zai, wait, did they actually not fully? Yeah, okay, they've got it. It's a little closer than it maybe had to have been.
They got the kill, but it went to Maiden. And you look at this net worth of this Spectre right now, and he is not having a good time. Like you look across VP's board, it's almost top 3 net worths currently sitting on Optic.
And Optic is still finding levels. Like, it's 4-3. The net worth is still a little low for their supports, but this is what we kind of expect with Optic. Like, Zai has been heavy sacrificial.
Yeah. Zai is very poor for a position 4, actually. That's the reason they're not further ahead than they are. He must have spent a lot of gold on regen. He has 2 deaths and still no bootsman at 7 on the 4.
They're going after Ramses again underneath the tower. There's a level 2 wave of terror from a Vengeful Spirit. No armor to play with, and 33 just hit so hard, but Solo, great body blocks. It buys time for Roger to come in. But Zai's got Wave of Terror and Magic Missile both available. Avalanche Toss combination coming off cooldown in just a second, and now it's Roger tossed up and brought down. So the kills separated out. No one's looking for something in return but the Moonlight Shadow. Mirana's already level 6. And he TP's out in the tree line. It's the old Muji. The Nova was so close.
It was there. He had him if he didn't have raindrop. That was a really nice read from Solo. That was very impressive, actually, that he went for that Nova. He would have got the kill, but the raindrop saving the day there for 33. He spent a lot of gold. This is second raindrop, so that's like that's 450 gold on that. But you know, you're willing to spend that to win the laning stage.
Yep.
You're still ahead, even after investing all that. Uh-oh, CCNC.
Yeah,
he's
Pasha's
fine.
right next to him.
He has 3 leaps.
He does, and 14 one charges, so
fissure.
Roger gets the first stun. No one needs the extra control. Leap number 1, leap number 2, and leap number 3. Pasha turns on the Sun Rain. PPD, no cold embrace, but he can slow down Pasha and CCNC. He will die, but Nova out. PPD just has to fly himself away.
And actually
The Arctic Burn was running out, and they get the kill onto the Mirana.
I'm really surprised they got him there. I thought those 3 leaps were going to be good enough, but Pasha on the money there with the Phoenix movement. They set it up nicely by dropping the fissure and having Storm jump. Like, the moment that happens, you'd leap twice. And then Phoenix was able to cover the distance afterwards. So, nice sequence from VP to get that core kill. And that's a big kill. That's the richest hero on the map. You always want to grab those kills when you can.
Yeah. Slows down CCNC's domination too. You do not want him just getting out of control. And now Solo and Roger move back. Like, they know what they needed. You were talking about it with the ES previously. Like, ES needs farm to actually do something. He at least got wands as well as his Tranquil Boots up. But the Blink Dagger is going to be his critical thing.
Yeah.
But that means they need to be involved in fights, which is happening again. Wave of Terror, that's level 3 now. So every time 33 throws out, he was hitting about 140 on each hit. TP out from VS, but Roger's there at the right time. Wave of Terror is over towards Ramses. Now 33 does his own run out. Pasha heavily involved across the map.
He does leave his lane empty, though. So that means Jugger is just free farming and nobody's
Curse.
taking that space.
Into Arrow. The creep blocks it, however. CCNC didn't have the right angle, and this allows no one to jump down. They're going to try and capitalize Virtus.pro. Another double stun from Roger. Right place, right time. And they bounce over to CCNC. Not a lot of mana to work with from no one. Got 7-1 charges available. So CCNC will have to burn another leap to get back to the tower. This will give no one the rune. The mana back again. And that is a costly miss on the Arrow. The creep was literally standing still, ready to catch it from the get-go.
So I didn't see the situation. Was it a miss from CCNC or was there no angle?
He had an angle, but he had to reposition for it. We may be able to get a replay of it.
I think a lot of the time these curse into arrows are actually not that difficult if you have leaps available, but he might either not have had many leaps or just had the worst position when they set it up. So, because, you know, you don't miss curse into arrow, right? Like that's,
yeah.
You just don't miss it. So
You shouldn't.
something must have been happening there.
Yeah, the 3 creeps came around him, in towards the mid lane, Roger as well as Solo. Observer ward's down, they want to keep fighting, they want to keep this pressure on CCNC. PPD doesn't have curse for another 13 seconds, that's where the window is open. But it leaves no one to defend this top lane almost all by himself, and Pasha on the bottom lane. Nova's available, Pycat's not going to try and force it, however. There's a heavy rotation now coming from Optic towards the top. They're bringing in both Mirana as well as Wyvern to fight. I think they want to make sure that no one's totally shut down.
It's a big kill. When do they have curse? They have curse.
Yep, they have curse.
This
time,
one's not going to miss. Totally.
This time they connect. Jump in forward, long duration stun. And that's a guaranteed kill.
Yep.
And it's a guaranteed tier 1 tower as well. No denial possible. VP just cannot defend it. They can fortify the delay, but it's still Optics.
And Optic on the other side of the map are not going to lose anything because their Juggernaut is just sitting in this bottom lane. This is one of the really big advantages that Juggernaut has, is a lot of the safe lane carries this patch are hard to leave alone. Like even if they have a good start, if the enemy team keeps pressuring you in your safe lane, you struggle a lot. But Juggernaut is a hard kill, especially for this dire lineup. They kind of need an Echo to kill him, and they don't have the dagger. So you can always just spin TP out, drop a healing ward even, and maybe survive. Just, you know, play it stable. And it opens up the map, the fact that they can leave Pycat and he can feel good about it. If they want to kill him, maybe they'll pull it off once, but how many heroes are they going to need? Like, what space does that make on the rest of the map if they've ganked him with like 3 or 4 heroes?
Yeah, benefit versus cost just doesn't come into it then for him.
Yep.
And once again, they have to try and hide up. Moonlight Shadow allows Optic Gaming to close the distance. They want to bring down Ramses, make sure this spec never gets any kind of movement forward, but okay, they'll kill off the Crystal Maiden. She's the easier one just to burst damage down. A quick sentry ward planted. Nova, great position against Optic. They have to let the curse out over on Spectre. So by 33, the time to get out of range. Yep, no stun to arrive. But Storm, a long fly forward, toss back over, no one! The tree toss was looking for the kill on him. The one charge gave just enough life, but now CCNC, arrow flies forward. No one has to bail back out. The secondary Starfall able to kill off Pasha, and they're searching for Ramses. No wave of terror, but no one. Not a lot of mana to work with either. Trying to regen up. He'll ball lightning a little bit further away towards the east. Wave of terror and arrow both missing. And no one. He's still in the trees. A quick leap forward. Now they'll find him. And this should be the Starfall kill. No one. Ball lightnings can't dodge the secondary drop, however. But it's Vengeful Spirit who needs more help. CCNC, he's looking for the right angle for the arrow. Now he'll throw it out, but the damage is already done. VS tries to swap and buy a little bit more time. Raindrops helped him on that front. But the front is gone. Meanwhile, on bottom lane, Pycat takes a tier 1 tower.
Yep. Jugger is just enjoying life, really. He's just having a good time. Nobody's pressuring him. He gets to play that. And this whole fight for Optic is a big win. The fact that they end up getting that Storm in the end as a kill for CCNC. He killed 2 cores there with the Mirana, so extending his lead by a big amount here.
And they've got so much vision. They're watching Roger farm up at the moment. The Fisher flies out and actually connects onto PPD, but Roger's got no more money to work with. Use the creeps on the side to get the extra Splinter Blast. Avalanche Toss now in range for 33, which will mean a guaranteed kill onto the ES, slowing down that Blink Dagger, but they want more. Solo, Wave of Terror, swapping back into Mirana. She doesn't have the Starfall available, but that won't matter. The Magic Missile from Zai, he'll use all his abilities to keep the CM controlled.
Optic are in a really, really good position in this game, because when you look at this VP lineup, if they don't have any of their cores having an excellent game right now, which nobody really is. Like, no one's game is hard. Pasha did some good moves early, but he's not farmed at all, and the Spectre is full-on recovery mode still. Who is going to make the moves? You look across to the other side, there's like, who's not going to make the moves? Like, Optic can go with whatever they want. They can just kill heroes across the map. They pressure the lanes. And, you know, VP has to find a way of buying time. I think the Shaker Dagger is important. I think the Storm getting his first real item in the Kaya will be important, and Spectre, even just a Yasha. Like, these little things are going to add up in a big way, but where's the space? Optic are just, they're choking them right now. This top tower is gone now, so VP has so little, they have so little map to work with, really.
They've done almost no damage as well. I think, like, in total, maybe 500 damage against all 3 of the tier 1 towers of Optic Gaming, so they've never been in a position to push either.
And another part of the reason is, first of all, their lanes didn't go well, but how good is their wave clear, really, when you look at it as well? Like, it takes time. It's not that bad. Like, Storm is good at wave clearing. Phoenix is okay, but it takes time.
Ramsey
Spectre is really bad.
Avalanche will connect. Wave of Terror keeps the vision up. Ramsey's Spectral Dagger is worn off. The Magic Missile connected, and now the Starfall. Ramsey's, he has to one charge up, but it won't matter. Roger does get the Echo Slam, and this is now trying to allow no one to capitalize. CCNC, he needs to leap once more, but they have the control. Roger gets himself a double kill, and maybe even a triple. PBD tried to come in to help out, but all he ends up doing is giving his life over to the Storm Spirit. And that's some much needed money. That's actually Roger's Blink Dagger from that fight, from those 2 kills.
That was so important. He got 700, 800 gold there out of this. Great first fissure, perfectly placed by so much time. Sure, they do kill Ramses, but basically what Roger does is he forces them to overcommit and gets in for the echo kill, gets the follow-up. Very nice here out of Roger individually in that sequence. And also the Spectre as well, just like identifying how he can stay alive for the absolute longest time by going into the tree line and bait in CCNC effectively to a bad move. Well, there's another tower gone though. So
Yeah, but it does get denied by Virtus.pro,
Yeah.
so that's the upside. They forced out Pycat to spin and TP.
Yep.
That's the reason why he couldn't finish it in time. But it's still more position on the map that VP is losing, and I'm wondering just how long it's going to take for Ramses to recover. He's got less net worth than the Earthshaker. Obviously, he has just got a big injection, but they need some big fights to work. As Optic, smoke will break, Virtus.pro, they'll see Solo, Roger gets the fissure off, connects over onto 3, but Solo still slowed up a little bit. Arrow flies forward, but it's the Starfall. That little extra drop when there's only one person around it. Yep. Guaranteed damage.
it's making space for Ramses though. When all of Optic are playing in the top half of the map like this, Ramses feels very comfortable pushing out and farming bottom, and he knows that if there is a good chance top, he can obviously just haunt in and join them.
Yeah.
So this solo death is actually not that bad. It kind of just gave Ramses 2 full waves and a lot of information to work with. I'd imagine Optic want to Rosh soon. They have Healing Ward, they have Venge Howl. They're actually going to do it right away.
Yeah. They'll lose their tier 1 tower in bottom lane for it. You already saw Ramses drag the creep wave off. And looks like Solo smoke with Roger. They are... Oh, they were just up the stairs, so they weren't visible to the observer ward. But that's why PPD is kind of on scout duty. The healing was not regenerating Pycat's life fast enough, so a quick Moonlight Shadow. Virtus.pro still with the 2 heroes smoked up. It looks like a trap, and PPD tries to do it. He turns on the curse onto the Phoenix. 33 comes in close, avalanche and toss. They guarantee the kill onto the Phoenix. A good fissure, but Solo still actually just keeps flying out, letting it go. 2 heroes lost for Optic. They don't have the Mirana anymore. Now Pycat dragged back in. He wasn't even able to Manta. He couldn't get the Omni Slash off, and Optic Gaming, one by one, they're actually getting picked. 3 heroes down with no buyback. 33 comes back in again looking for another kill. He'll have the extra help thanks to PPD with his Splinter Blast, and he's got the Cold Embrace, and they need this kill, but Roger blinks in for the Echo Slam, putting him down. And all that hard work that Optic did, Roshan sitting at 1/3 life. I don't think VP can really finish it, however, but
That's still...
they got a great fight.
That's crucial, that they go for the smoke. Even though I was about to... Like, this smoke break from PPD is great. He finds the curse onto the Phoenix. They blow up the Phoenix together with all of their spells, but this freezing field is doing a lot of work, and PPD finds himself in an awkward spot. And when they've committed all of these stuns on the Phoenix, who's going to stop the Storm? He's just running rampant. They used everything. They used a Tiny Burst. They used Venge Stun. Pycat ends up dying without getting Omni Slash off. It's a couple of things there for Optic going really wrong, and a big comeback from VP.
But they can at least get back in and do Roshan.
Yeah.
Because Virtus.pro burnt everything they had apart from Storm Mana. So you bring back to life, and Optic Gaming now have the Aegis the Immortal in the hands of the Juggernaut. And they still own the top 3 net worths on the field, even if the supports are, well, piss poor.
Yeah, I was looking over their net worth. I was like, how? How are they this far behind when they're winning so much? But their supports,
the VS and Wyvern.
they're dying in the moves. That's why. There's 6 deaths on the Venge. There's 5 on the Wyvern. You look across the board, Maiden has 3 and Shaker has 2. They just haven't been the casualties. It's more of the cores that have been pressured on VP's side than the supports. And what this means is you look at this 2K net worth lead, and you look at the net worth in general, it's like, oh wow, they have the top 3 cores. But these net worths on the supports actually really matter. Solo has a drum. He's closing in on a Shadow Amulet for his Glimmer Cape. Shaker with the dagger.
Oh, he was actually burning the drum to try and escape this.
Yeah, he's
If
gonna
he,
be
if he
successful.
didn't, he actually wouldn't have survived. That blink forward from 33 would have found him. He was on a deep warding mission. He had one of them dewarded.
I wonder how Optic are going to approach the next 5 minutes. They've got to feel like if this goes really late, they're in trouble. Storm is one of the absolute worst matchups for Wyvern in the whole game. It is so annoying to play against because he just jumps you in the backline. If he has an Orchid, you die. There's not really anything you can do.
So it's just kill and push, right? Like
What's
as long as you know the ES's position, you can get that push up high ground.
Yeah,
So it's just kill and push.
again, it's just difficult. Like you look at this Optic position they're in the game, but it doesn't feel like that big of a lead to me. You just need
Pasha.
one big fight for VP.
Observer ward saw everything. Pasha, jump away, but the attack. Arctic Burn doesn't reach him far enough. So Pasha has the distance. But then they look towards Solo in the mid. Zai catches him out. And support rotates quickly. 33 just walks up to him. Guys, finish the job. Solo back underneath the tier 1 tower. Omni Slash finds the Phoenix. So nice pickoffs for Optic just to open up some space.
Yep.
The VP's prepping a trap on bottom lane. They want someone to come out. Blink, Echo, destroy.
And while these kills are good, they're not advancing the game, right? Like VP are the ones pushing the lanes out. So sure, you get these picks, but Storm pushed in bottom all the way. Spectre is pushing up top all the way, and Optic can't convert this mid fight into any tier 2 tower or anything. They just get. They got 2 kills, but they're the ones getting pulled around.
They have a big advantage, though. The Observer Ward, they saw so much. The blink is on cooldown. Tiny couldn't get the grab onto no one.
If he gets the toss there, that's a really big kill, but no one just barely getting out of that situation.
Yeah, and they know with the scan that the TP was completed. Ramses is now doing some damage to the tier 1 tower up on top. And there's no one really to come and defend that. Like, you can TP in the Tiny, but he needs more help. And Solo's already preparing it. He's got the Observer Ward in very deep on the top lane. It's almost like they're already willing to see that tier 1 tower just fall. So they get the information on the rotation a little earlier.
So this is a big item. The Spectre Manta.
It's gonna make it a lot harder to control her now.
It's not. It's like
and against Juggernaut.
Spectre is maybe the best hero in the whole game to get a Manta style on, just because of how valuable it is in multiple situations. Spectre is a hero that wants to be able to get out of trouble in specific situations with it, and the Desolate on the Manta illusions is so ridiculously powerful that it gives him solo kill potential. You'd imagine in the following fights, in the upcoming ones, that Ramses will haunt, jump next to PPD, use his Manta, and then jump to someone else. And the Manta is going to kill PPD if he doesn't freeze himself. Even if he does, he takes a lot of damage. Like, this pure damage hurts. And that will be a really big problem that they have to solve. It's also great against Omni Slash. Like, a lot of value in this Manta this game.
Yeah. VP is not coming out to take that fight. That's the last outer tower of Virtus.pro. And it goes down. Also got a Silver Edge. Interesting way for Pinecat to do it. He's got the recipe first. And no, the Shadow Blade is there too.
It's in his backpack right now. You want to pull that out, buddy? There you go.
So, he'll switch it. But Silver Edge, he was actually queuing up Diffuser Blade beforehand.
Yeah, I think they want a way of bursting the Spectre. So if he can Silver Edge Omni Slash, he can solo kill him, or do it with the help of Tiny at least. Tiny's damage on Spectre is no joke when Dispersion's gone.
Oh, Virtus.pro starting to be a little bit more grouped up. Holding on the southern side of the map. Obviously, no one still needs that space in mid lane to farm, but he's finished up the Orchid to go with his Kaya, so very willing to go for a fight, but is he willing to live? No! The damage is just enough from 33. The Wave of Terror from Zion was able to clip him.
Yep. 1 or 2 hits from Pycat too during that Avatos. That was a very quick move from 33 there, identifying the play. Very nicely done. I think 1 second later and that fails. Storm would have got out, so very well played by them.
That was going to be interesting TP if Pasha wanted to complete it. Was actually TPing up to a shrine right on top of Pycat. But more and more bounty runes to grab.
So I want to commend VP on how good a job they're doing at playing a lineup that is just inherently greedier and playing from behind. It's not easy to play these situations in this patch where the enemy team has control of the map, but VP have a very good understanding of how far they can push the creep waves, how important it is that they still get these bounty runes. Like, they just had a dead Storm, and they traded 2 for 2 bounties after they've lost all 6 towers. That's really, really good. Optic, in comparison, have lost 1 tower.
Yeah.
And VP are still, keeping the game afloat. The graph is going up a little bit here because of this Storm kill that they got, but you could look over the course of the last, 15 minutes. Optic were looking so hot, and they haven't really gained anything.
Well, I think VP are going to be willing to give them the team fight now. Moonlight Shadow out from Optic. The Observer Wards from VP don't show anything, and the Echo Slam! Oh my god! That is just absolutely perfect. Then you can let it go too. You will get him with the Omni Slash, but the follow-up stun from Pasha coming out of the Nova locks down Pycat. And 4 heroes from Optic gone. TPD is on the run as the sole survivor, and they are hot in pursuit. No one's got the distance jump, the fissure to hold him there, and a triple kill for no one. They'll take the mid tower. And Optic Gaming, you've taken all the towers on the map so far, but it is VP who own this. Let's see it again.
See ya. Echo Slamma Jam. It's almost like they knew the replay was playing. They set it pretty much on top of that. That's great. Yeah, very nicely set up. So the keys to this moment for VP is that they have a pre-placed sentry, they have good positioning, and the way Optic move in their heroes. I think they're moving it in the wrong order. If you're going for a play like this, Tiny needs to be ahead alone in front. The Mirana being next to him gives VP the freest fight ever because CCNC just gets echoed and has no fight. If that's a solo Tiny in front, VP can try to go for that, but, you know, like you can't really echo this Tiny and feel like you're just going to win the fight off that. He has a lot of status resistance, he has a lot of health. When you get that pot in it, it's a no-brainer. You just go for that echo and you win the fight. So
I still just can't believe, like VP have these deeper walls that are letting them have the early warning system, and then they just perfectly were split. Like, the greatest position they could ask for to begin that fight with. I'm wondering, like, it's not for the one to try, and like Optic are trying to find the observer wars, but you see just the coverage of sentries which came down from Virtus.pro. They wanted to make sure that there was no vision around their critical areas, and there was no vision in mid. They dropped 2 sentry wards, in fact, looking for it. And PPE just he's not coming up roses as he searches for the vision of VP.
nope, absolutely not. And it's worth noting, too, that this is a Maiden buying all these sentries and covering the map, and he's still ahead of the enemy supports. Like, Solo is having a very good game here, and closing in on that truly game-breaking level 15 for Maiden support. Like, especially...
She's going to have Glimmer Cape to go with that.
When you think of a Maiden as a 5, right? This extra 150 GPM is so huge because you basically... Wards don't cost anything at that point. You just have... You can think of it as like, okay, now I get my wards for free, and my gold now goes into items. That's kind of how it goes. And it makes a really big difference. He will be getting items, like maybe a BKB later in this game will be a great item. Perhaps he gets other utility items for the team, like both Glimmer and Force Staff. All these options. He will pull further and further ahead of the enemy supports. And this is even a Wyvern who has the level 10 GPM talent. Peter is very poor this game compared to having a 90 GPM level 10 talent. Been spending a lot of gold on these sentries and obs and has only 1 kill to his name, so still no Glimmer.
Right now he's the best observer ward around Roshan. He's just waiting for Roshan to spawn, which will happen in 15 seconds. But they need to keep that mid lane pushed out. They need the top lane to have momentum to force someone from VP to come back and defend it. A difficult thing when you have a Storm Spirit on the field. He can move very quickly. Obviously, you're running like no Bloodstones on Storm Spirit this day, but it's a Kaya, BKB, Orchid, all completed on no one. And he's still not #1 net worth. It's the silent party. It's the reason why, like, when Optic play 3 games in a day, and like I want to put my money on Pycat, because he is always that big achiever, even if the team's behind. I say behind, they're 1K ahead. Moonlight Shadow, no one wants to be the primary target, or do they? They're going up after Pasha, the stuns, the control, it's there. The Phoenix will go down before it gets his Nova off. Ramsey and no one did get into the back line, however, but they're still battling against the Moonlight Shadow, but that's why they get the gem onto the Storm Spirit. The vision is there, the Echo Slam from Roger. Space creation is absolutely perfect. Everyone is going to go down for Optic. Pycat wants to run into a quick spin, but they have the damage output. No, the curse actually kills off no one. Diffuser Blade is up from Ramses. He'll track him down and get the kill as Roger blinks up. He's got the follow-up stun and an ultra kill for Ramses.
I'm sure we're going to have a replay of this fight coming out right now. Pay attention to how useless Wyvern is in this fight. Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, look at this. They haunt, so they know where Wyvern is. You see that green ball? Yep, okay. So enjoy your fight, Wyvern. So he has to buy back. Now that he comes back into the fight's over when PPD arrives. Fortunately for him, he does get the curse kill, so it makes his buyback worth it. But like, the key to this moment is that Optic supports can't play. They actually can't play if VP get to jump.
Yep.
Haunt plus Storm Spirit is like absolutely ridiculously difficult to play any support against, and they're just punishing them. They're eating them alive in these fights.
So do you just jump a different target? Like, they saw the Phoenix and wanted to bring him down. Now they find a better target over on Solo underneath the Sentry Ward. Magic Missile into Arrow. Fidget gets a double stun. Damn, Roger's so good. And he wants to get out this one, the Wave of Terror. And the Starfall from CCNC helps to get the kill. So Crystal Maiden is down for a bit. Yeah, do you go a different target, or do you just go on the biggest call that's presented, which at this point was Phoenix?
That's the tricky part, right? When you look at this VP lineup. At this stage of the game, after Optic missed their earlier timing, when they were in a really good spot to keep the pressure up and get that Roshan
they see
that they did
Pasha.
get.
Here they go again. Observer Wards.
Nice kill.
It's Optic Gaming who have the extra vision. They started doing Roshan. That's a minute now without Phoenix. But and Echo Slam on cooldown for 26 seconds.
VP's lineup is just so good at teamfights, actually. It's very difficult to choose a target. I'm thinking about who they should go on, and I kind of... Every hero I look at, I'm like, yeah, that's good, but then, you know? I think if I had to pick a target for them to go on, I think the absolute best target they can get is actually the Earthshaker. Because he is the biggest counterplay that VP has.
Yeah.
When the Phoenix counterplays, you have the BKB on Mirana and you have the Juggernaut spin. So you can, and you even have a Glimmer Cape on the Wyvern, so you can probably play around that. But the Shaker Echoes are ruining them.
And it's
in this
also,
game.
it's also Roger's positioning. Like, he's always getting 2 people in every single fissure, and it's normally a +1 core.
If they can find Shaker, that's the best. But
Yeah.
it also feels like the least likely target to find, right? He has so much range to work with.
He's got Blink, he's got Yours to escape out, and now he's going to have a Shadow Blade as his next item. So this is the money into the supports you were talking about. It's just night and day. Like, there's no Blink Dagger for a Winter Wyvern. He did get a Glimmer Cape at least. And Vengeful Spirit went for the whole Vladimir's. So at least that thing got buffed up a little bit, I think, recently.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm feeling this item this game. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that purchase. I think there's other items that Zai could get that would be more impactful.
Oh,
like
they got the jump. They found the Tiny. The Observe Ward was already there. Fissure control, follow up. But then again, Curse is up from PPD just to help out Tiny. I say Curse, the Cold Embrace. Both of them will end up dying. And VP, well, you burn the 9-second BKB on no one, but a kill's a kill.
So in that fight, Spectre pressed ulti and jumped on the Wyvern, and then Wyvern died.
Oh, so
he did get a Cold Embrace off.
Man, I've only ever heard you talk this depressingly about, like, how do you analyze a situation? Hey, techies, buy a gem. Like, that's the equivalent of what I'm hearing from you right now.
I want to say playing Wyvern here is so hard. It is so hard, and I don't think PPD is doing a bad job. This is just exceptionally difficult, and that can happen when you first pick a hero like this. The good teams are going to take advantage of it. They have some key information, and they draft 2 great counters to this Wyvern hero.
Yep.
They actually even draft more, because you look across their lineup, they have a really great mixture of damage. So Cold Embrace is really bad in this game. There's Sunray, Storm Spirit is mixed damage type, tons of magic damage between Maiden and Shaker. It's not easy. They're not making PPD's life easy this game.
Yeah.
So what I think Venge, to finish off on that tangent, what I think Venge should have gone this game instead of Vlad's, I think an earlier pipe, which he's building the hood now, I think that would have been a really good item. I think perhaps even a Glimmer on him. Like, it's really the magic damage that's tearing them apart. And eventually the physical damage of Spectre will be a problem. But over these last 20 minutes, it's really been the story of Shaker and Storm killing people. If they had some more magic resistance to work with, they could have maybe stayed alive in the fights.
Oh, the smoke. The Observe Ward on the hillside once again. It gets information. Pikehead has a double damage room. That's why they're looking for the fight. But VP, they are all coming home.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Yep. They can take it easy.
Yep. Well,
They have
they're
nothing to
in no hurry, right? Like, they have the gold advantage, they have the experience advantage, and they've just completed up their new action item, which is the Shadow Blade onto the ES.
This is good discipline. This is exactly what you do in this situation. There's nothing Optic can claim outside the base. So just wait in the base. You give them a bit of map control, you give them a bit of control here, but you know, you feel strong about this late game, you want this Aegis to expire anyway. If you take a fight here, this is Optic's best chance of winning the game, so just avoid this moment.
Well, now
And
it's VP who can come and hunt.
Now that it's over, they can start moving out. They know the smoke has run out. Ramses has a heart.
And they're already Moonlight Shadowing. But underneath the Observer Ward, Optic Gaming's deep vision they had previously. What happened to that Gem of True Sight that was on the field?
That's a very good question.
Because
There's one on Storm.
Yeah, there's one on Storm that ES purchased.
Yeah, isn't that the one? Did Optic have one?
Was it just one? Yeah, okay, it was just one. There's only one on the field at the moment. I thought there was an extra one on the field, but I'm not seeing it on
sometimes
that.
the players forget them randomly.
They're just in the tree somewhere. Uh-oh.
It's happened before.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the second one. Wow, what a prophecy.
Yeah. Well, it's reaching that point, right? Like, how many times can PPD throw down a Sentry Ward and go, damn it? He's not finding anything, and they're walking underneath dire Observer Wards, and yeah, they're going to see one right here. I cannot highlight this anymore, but the issue is that PPD, wait, did he buy it? And
He hasn't taken it yet, I think. It's in his stash.
Okay.
Oh, Roger. Oh, he got Shadow Blade off. I don't know if he... This is some sixth sense right here. He did not see Pikehead coming through anything, but he's feeling unsafe. Gets out of it. That was very close, actually.
He saw him walk over the Observer Ward near the Ancients, so I knew eventually that they'd be coming over.
Yeah, that's still... He waited until the absolute end.
Solo? Oh, you're gonna ping a new target. He's still got Glimmer Cape plus TP out. And CCNC, Blind Arrow, doesn't see him. Sees not. Oh, up. Oops.
Too late. Yeah, and this, again, this is a good example of, you know, the thing I'm talking about with VP and waves, right? They're pushing out the waves. Even the Maiden is just going out here trying to push waves and buy time, because the one condition that they need to avoid is that Optic got to use this Aegis. It's expired. They didn't put any pressure at all on the map. It's VP pressuring them.
They at least saved the cheese on the Mirana.
Yes.
So they have that as a small thing. But VP Aegis is gone. They're smoked up. They're looking for the hunt. And all of Optic now have to return. They know they're not the strongest here, but okay, CCNC as a Shadow Blade ES, Echo Slams with the creep wave, and they're gonna find the kill instantly. Even with the Cold Embrace, they still had enough magical damage to get through it. Wyvern goes down quickly, and VP picking their targets perfectly, but they're inside the Optic base. They have to be careful as Mirana will buy back. We've already killed off both the support. CCNC, a dieback, it could be a leap away. Turn around and get out of there. He turned for the fight into Ramses, who had the heart, knew he had the extra life, and VP know it. They're not trying to tip CCNC, they're trying to tilt CCNC.
I don't think you need to tilt the guy who's dead until the game ends. It's possible that Optic can defend here, but this looks really, really grim. They're losing minimum 1 lane of Rax, maybe a second. I think the one way they save this game and stay alive is that PPD gets a curse onto the Storm next to Spectre. But he has Lincolns on Storm, so they need to break that one first. Now, this is rough, man.
It is. And Virtus.pro are going for more. Still 13 seconds till the curse is up. AKA Wyvern alive. And all of VP wait. Echo Slam is on cooldown for a little bit longer, but you can see Solo looking to zone them out. As far as vision goes, remember, we are still during night time, so they don't see that deep into the Optic base. It's their one real opportunity, but then Sentry Ward, they see Earthshaker coming close, but a quick blink away, but they use the opportunity. The curse is out, so Solo should be the one being picked up, but then again, it's only ES hitting it until Ramses comes in a little closer and helps finish the job. The stuns are out, no one bounces away as his BKB does wear off. They haven't taken the melee racks on the bottom just yet, but when you hit with the sprites, 33 just cannot hit, cannot get close enough, and Virtus.pro are happy with the racks and a halving.
Yep. That's good enough for now. It did take the curse to defend, but they didn't get a core kill. It repels them. They bought the time that they needed.
And they'll take the shrines. And so much money. Spec's about to finish up a full butterfly after having Heart Diffusal Manta.
Yep.
He's beyond a beast.
How do you see the win percentage graph? Why can't I see that?
Oops, hang on, not that one. This one, win probability.
Why can't I see that?
Hit F8.
That doesn't do anything.
Then you have to rebind.
Wait,
It's
what?
98% in favor of Dire.
I was going to say, generally Spectre lineups that are 15k ahead, they have a tendency of winning. Just a minor one. Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe your Dota Plus ran out.
Oh, I see.
Oh yeah, no, it's actually unbound on your keyboard.
All right, there we go. That explains everything. Yeah.
All right, Roger's running around underneath the Sentry Ward. They need something here. Observer and Sentry cleaned up by Optic. Echo Slam is back off cooldown again. But now the Butterfly is up. At least that MKB from CCNC makes a lot of sense now. But VP kind of built into it. The Dire scan won't ping correctly as all of Optic smoke up. Roshan has another 2 minutes on the counter. And Roger's running over. Observer is nearby. Now remember that Gem of True Sight. It's still actually in the hands, like Tiny has it for Optic.
Oh, this would be a big catch if they can kill Ramses.
Oh, they gotta find him.
He's killable here for sure.
Yeah, they Moonlight Shadow. That's a double damage rune on Pycat. They clean up the creep wave. Is it worth an Omni Slasher? They just got the damage enough, and now they don't even use it. Here Ramses jumps back in towards the mid. CCNC is chasing him down. Leap forward, pops the BKB. Cheese must be used. Ramses! Oh my! I don't know who's trapped in here with who. Rorschach, predict that one. PPD. Now he is the one being initiated on. No one jumps once again. Cannot curse. The Orchid's holding him back for the moment, so PPD will pop. And the buybacks are coming in thick and fast. Pycat looking for the fight, looking for the kill. The Omni Slash comes back off cooldown, but Roger locks him down with the Echo Slam. Buyback is available from Pycat. He'll probably have to use it. As the chase is on, another jump forward. PPD, how many times can you die in one game? We're really putting that to the test at the moment. Solo letting it go up on the hillside. Storm Spirit will go down, dropping the Gem of True Sight that Virtus.pro have, but no one can stick around for it. In fact, Roger jumps forward, manages to regather, and now they want to get back out. Pycat holding the Omni Slash. 2 Invis heroes next to him. He needed 33 to be there to fight that Icarus dive. Just such a long ball from Pasha. Welcome to level 20. But they have to come home. The melee racks in the bottom lane is dying. Someone has to defend this. But they don't have the... There's one TP scroll in Tiny's hands. Roshan's not up for another 22 seconds. They have to TP back.
Wait, who just got a Hex? Someone got Hex, right?
Hex on Pasha.
Radiant's
Pasha,
bottom
okay.
33 didn't get back in time. The TP
Oh,
cooldown was actually so long that
Oh,
the Rax
no.
actually died.
Oh no, that's a blunder. They had plenty of time to set that up actually with
No.
the defense, but
They weren't
yeah.
looking for it.
It was that was a really big loss anyway for them. They used so many buybacks after killing
Oh,
Ramses,
God, they
and
may
they
even
still
kill
lost the
Pycat.
fight.
They're chasing him down. Earthshaker staying along with it. Nope. TP coming forward. Roger, CCNC fires off the arrow. Roger just walks in front of it and then dodges. Sure. The VP back up. Roshan's up. This will probably be our next... Well, it will be our next critical area fight. Like, I don't know how Optic win this if they don't claim Roshan.
They have to get Rosh. And the dangerous thing here is that I think, so when you saw how they jumped Ramses bottom with the Tiny and Jugger combined, they had a double damage and they got the Silver Edge hit off, but they didn't Omni Slash. If there's one more hero there, maybe Ramses dies. But imagine the situation arises again without the DD. Like, they can't even kill him. Like, how are they possibly going to win this next fight? It's going to take some sort of ridiculous set of circumstances with like a double damage, 3 heroes ganking him, getting all the spells off in sequence, killing him off, him not having buyback, and then VP trying to fight. Like, that's what we're talking here.
Moonlight Shadow, they see Pasha, but you know he's the bait. Actually, they're a little bit further away, so Avalanche Toss combination. They want to kill off Phoenix and Pasha. No! He can Icarus dive away, and Storm Spirit. Hey, look, it's PPD dying again. No one has just got a bullseye on his back. Goes after CCNC, a double kill for him. Jump on down after Zai as well. Ramses will claim him, and 33 is kind of in no man's land. I think he knows that he has to stay with the Juggernaut, but they're on the wrong side of the river. The creep wave's pushing in. TPs are not even on them. They can't even come back to base. This is GG. They can't return in time to stop VP from just winning game 1 of this 2-game series. And we even have an MKB from Solo, just for great measure.
Nice.
That's a terrific item by Solo.
If you want to end the game, do you not buy Deso instead of this? He has a 250 attack speed talent. MKB proc doesn't work on buildings.
It's fine. He really just wanted to be a murderer. Oh, okay. Well, they find 1 kill. Pycat finishes his TP back out again. Fortification will slow things down, but he's got no Omni Slash. He's got nothing to work with. At least he can Manta dodge for a half a second into the spin. 8 seconds until Wyvern's up, and he will actually have that curse available as VP are deep, but it's too late. Done and dusted. VP, 44 kills, claim it in 44 minutes against Optic Gaming, game 1.
That was a great game to watch, actually. I think Optic's early mid game looked very solid. They did great in the laning stage, and then there's this 1 or 2 key moments that really define the game. The one is when Optic are doing Rosh, and they pull out of the Rosh pit to try to take the fight where PPD is breaking the smoke. And sure, they do end up getting the Rosh eventually after losing that fight, but they didn't get a clean Rosh into next objective or a good fight. They have to pay for everything. And then the Moonlight Shadow mid, CCNC is next to Tiny, they get echoed, they get blown up. I think that was a 4-for-1 fight or something.
Yeah.
When you have Spectre Storm, that's what it takes. It takes those 2 moments. But it's a combination of 2 things, right? It's Optic giving them that little inch of an opportunity, and VP are just all over it. So
Yeah.
I think VP will feel good about winning this game, but I don't think this is how they want to play this tournament. It's not classic VP to pick weaker lanes and not play super aggressive early on. They played really aggressive mid game. Like when they have everything, they're gonna go. But this was a bit of a curveball for me. Actually,
it feels late, right? Because you like the spec didn't even get like early fighting items. Like you had a heart, you had Manta, you eventually got Diffusal, but like you're not seeing the Urn, you're not seeing the Blade Mail, you're not seeing this aggressive kind of like fight it up spec. It's not a Ramsey style thing. It's not like a Lifestealer where you can jump in and get involved.
He had a really hard game, so he had to itemize like he did, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe a Blade Mail could have been an option, actually, but you don't really like buying that item against Juggernaut. It's pretty useless against that hero.
Yeah.
So,
but it's just one of those games where VP have to play a different tempo, but it's game number 1 from them. They still walk away with a victory. Optic Gaming sort of capitalize on a couple of the better moments, but they'll have another chance in just a bit. We'll come back for game 2 to see if we can have ourselves a draw or a clear victor. We are back for our final game of the second series. The final game that Sin and I get to cast on this stream before we
Have lunch.
lunch. Lunch is great.
Yep.
So we'll do that, and then we'll be back on stream 4 for the final game of the day. But Optic versus
Gaming's
VP.
turn to
Optic
ban.
wasn't that bad for last game,
Oh, I don't think so either.
but VP definitely looking good, but not as crisp as we also were looking from them.
I think, given the circumstances of that game, VP actually played very well after the laning stage. I think they needed to play that well, and they did. At the same time, though,
10
Optic's
seconds
laning stage
remaining.
was flat out superior. They drafted a better laning stage. They outplayed VP in that laning
5
stage.
seconds
And
remaining.
what they needed was just 1 or 2 key moments to go a little bit different. And
like
that could have
like the Omni Slash on spec on bot lane,
that was a
the
bit too late, I think. I think at that point the game was almost lost.
the Curse Arrow mid on no one.
Curse Arrow mid on no one, definitely. The Roshan thing, where they end up getting the Rosh, but they lost the fight first. And then the fight mid, where they Moonlight Shadow in at the river and get counterplayed really hard. So VP had their number in a couple of situations and just made the right decisions.
Yep.
And we'll see what Optic choose to adjust. This time they're first phase banning Ursa. Last game it
Yeah.
was banned 5th by VP.
Is that trying to force
It's very
VP to like ban a Phoenix or
Optic
something? Because
Gaming
it is first
turn
pick
to ban.
going the way of Virtus.pro. So if they want the Phoenix, they can just get it then. Not that I'm saying Ursa is the critical like ban to look at a Phoenix pick. No Tiny, no Io, no Necro.
I don't know. I'm just curious, actually. I don't know what the plan is here from Optic, because this is definitely different from what they did last game with their bans.
I don't know if that tempo really
10
needed to change that
seconds
much
remaining.
either. Like it was okay.
5 seconds
I
remaining.
feel like the last game was not a draft loss for Optic. It wasn't like an individual player completely
Virtus.pro's
dropping the
turn to
ball.
pick.
Like there was 1 or 2 moments where it could be like CCNC's out of position, and it definitely mattered in the
Optic
middle,
Gaming's
in the
turn
mid
to
Echo Slam play.
Silencer.
But when you looked across that game, it seemed like the team decisions needed to be adjusted a little bit with. I would have liked them to get PyCat a little bit more involved earlier on.
Optic
I think in the
Gaming's
mid game
turn
at
to
around
pick.
25 to 30 minutes, he was. I think it was 3-3-2 with 250 CS on Jugger. And Jugger is kind of an active carry you want to fight with. And we praised them for doing a really good job at 4-man pushing and having PyCat just splitting. And that was great because they built him up a lot. And then they ended up not using him that much.
Yeah.
Like in that mid-team fight that I've mentioned a couple of times with the Echo, PyCat doesn't get Omni Slash off. He just dies.
10 seconds
If you get
remaining.
fights like that with a really rich core who doesn't get to play his peak,
Virtus.pro's
Yeah.
all for
turn
naught.
to
I also wondered too if that was because like getting in behind the lines was going to be difficult. Clinks will help save that, but the queen, or in fact the mother of getting in behind all lines is the Brood being picked up in the first phase. So it's a first phase silencer. We had that in game 2 of our first series as well, but now we also get the Brood mother pick up. It feels maybe a little too early though, right?
I don't know how to place Brood right now in
10
terms of picking, because I
seconds
think
remaining.
most of Brood's, in the past when people played Brood, you're like,
5
oh, you have to
seconds
pick this hero super
remaining.
late, because if they pick someone that can kill the spiders, that hero gets out of control. It gets so farmed, gets
Yeah.
so much XP. And then we've had the nerf where killing the spiders doesn't actually give as much.
Yeah.
So there's a way of playing Brood as a strategic pick where you force the enemy to pick a hero that, first of all, can lane against it, which Clinks
Yeah.
doesn't stand a chance.
No.
So VP have already forced Clinks into a side lane if they want to put their Brood mid.
Turn to ban.
And
Optic
Brood, in
Gaming's
most
turn
matchups,
to
can just
ban.
farm. Like, if you can't destroy your opponent, you can farm. You make
Yeah.
spiders, you go farm the jungle.
So do you find someone that's able to track him down? Like I don't know if we have to go down to the role of Slaughter, but maybe does Night Stalker. Like
No.
something that can at least keep eyes on Broodmother and just track her down without forcing the Clinks to come off the lane, because he won't do that early on when the Brood's just farming on the side.
I don't really
10
think
seconds
it's that
remaining.
big of a problem if they pick a hero that can lane against the Brood. It's just how do you secure
5
Clinks?
seconds remaining.
And
Okay.
that problem is already there. Like, this Clinks hero wants to go mid, and it can't.
But you can
That's
put
an
you can just put the Clinks into safe lane, right?
Yeah, but it's very different. Like,
Like-
Clinks is a snowball hero who is not that strong in 2-on-2 lanes. He's very strong in 1-on-1. And when you put him in the safe lane, he gets to the level 6 slower, so he doesn't get to use that Death Pact early, which is generally
Yeah.
what propels him into the mid game. I think Clinks, as a safe
Optic
laner, I think it
Gaming's
sucks.
turn to
I think
pick.
it's actually really bad.
Virtus.pro's turn
And
to
we'll see if I get proven wrong here by Optic, but I don't think that was the plan that they had when they picked the hero. And if VP on the spot just picked Brood because of this, I think it's super clever.
Optic Gaming's
So, we'll
turn to pick.
Well, they get the Wind Ranger pickup. So stun control. It's the first stun we actually have come out of him, even though it's not a guarantee one with the shackle. Could be difficult against the chaos that the Brewmaster can create. The Clinks can get in the back lines, but of course, as you said, you need to get past the landing phase for that one.
Yeah.
The Brew seems to be also a nice little bit of a pickup against the Brood Mother. Clap to try and
10
kill off the Spiderling, slow him
remaining.
down, then the chaos after.
Virtus.pro.
And
Yeah, that's a hero that can
Okay.
win against Brood. That's a good matchup. Monkey King,
But
early
that-
on, until Brood gets level 3, and especially 5, Monkey King wins the lane. And then afterwards, and Monkey has max in Boundless, he kills all the spiders. With, I think you need Aquila Treads.
But if you're doing this as Brood versus Monkey
10
mid, which is going to
seconds
be then your
remaining.
safe lane Clinks,
It's
or
going to be safe lane Clinks no matter what.
your off
5
lane and
seconds
Brewmaster,
remaining.
like whatever the side lane Clinks.
You cannot put Clinks mid this game.
It's-
If VP see that and they put Brood in that lane, that is an absolute disaster. Like, that's straight game losing. That's tough. So you gotta avoid that.
does
Just play to your strength.
does VP change the lanes up then? Like if you know Clinks is going to be up on the top, do you then just switch up the lanes?
They could do that. We haven't talked about that option yet, but they could definitely put the Brood in the side lane against Clinks and just aim to get that matchup no matter what.
Mhm.
That is definitely possible.
But what do you lose when you put a Brood in the mid as opposed to running Brood a Brood on the off as opposed to running Brood on the mid?
It snowballs a bit slower, right? Because it gets less levels. It either shares
Because
HP
you don't have
with
the
the
site, you don't have the cams close by on the mid.
That's another thing. Yeah, it's a worse farming
Optic
pattern, but just the lane
Gaming
itself, you're
turned
sharing experience with someone.
Weaver.
And if you leave Brood alone top, it will get a slower level 6 than it will in mid. And if you help Brood top, it will also get a slower level 6 than it does mid. So
Got a lot of focus fire out from Virtus.pro. We've got very little stuns
a lot of single target.
in from Virtus.pro. Yeah, a lot of solo target. So they can rip apart the Brewmaster, but how, like the
10
Brewlings, but
seconds remaining.
I think they're just really targeting lanes this
5
game.
seconds
Weaver
remaining.
has some good core matchups here. I think it's fine against Clinks. It's one of the heroes that can just get away from him when he strafes, buy time, and then kill him later.
Virtus
you know, waiting is
Pro
just like a Drow
turn to
Ranger
ban.
last pickup, and then it's a support Wind Ranger and support Silencer.
Mm.
And then the damage output's can be ridiculous from them all. Maybe a little bit more difficult with a Brewmaster or Monkey King that can close the distance.
Yeah, I don't think VP want Brood. I think Brood Drow sounds pretty.
Yeah,
It sounds pretty.
but it's the other three that just work so well with her.
Sure, like the aura is good, but I
10
think it takes
seconds
away from
remaining.
what their lineup is lacking. I think you hit the nail on the head. They need something that just
5
ties
seconds
things
remaining.
together. You know,
Mhm.
you want to catch so that you can catch and then global and kill that guy with all the focus fire you have. Drow is not your catch. I think they might be. They were
Yes.
thinking about the Storm. I think that's a good ban. I was looking at that as an option for them. That is not a possibility anymore. At the same time, though, if they do want this, yeah, Storm would have been fine. 'Cause this is difficult in this draft, right? You need to wrap your mind around a lot of things as both captains right now, because you're thinking in lanes, and you're thinking, okay, if we put Brood mid, they don't put Clinks mid. So we want
Virtus
Brood against Clinks. So
Pro's
if they put
turn to
Clinks
pick
there, they put
Optic
this guy mid
Gaming's
because Clinks
turn
has to go
to
there,
pick.
and
The
then
next
we
guy
put this
has
guy there,
arrived.
etc., etc. So
It's a Willer.
it's a core Wind Ranger. Willow for most likely Roger,
Yeah.
I think.
Uh,
Ez is a totally different draft from VP. There's 0 overlap with the last game. 5 new heroes.
yeah, who put in that compendium? Team that picks the most different heroes.
10 seconds remaining.
Wasn't it a player only?
No, it's team as well.
Are you sure?
5 seconds remaining.
Almost positive, but you make me
I-
make me second guess myself.
I
soon.
want to find that. I want to see what I predicted then. Team. Did you say team that?
Yeah,
picks the most
it'll be teams.
Oh, you're right. Yep, that was there.
Team that picks the most different heroes. You have Liquid.
I had Liquid for that. Yep.
Yeah.
They also picked a lot of different heroes, I think, in their first 2 games. Pretty sure.
Well, there's also like most people went for that because Miracle's like the one who plays every single hero under
Yeah,
the sun.
they play a lot of different heroes on all their players, actually.
Yeah.
Except at TI7, GH's pool was probably the smallest. But he was really good on all of them.
But most people predicted VP for that last year because just before TI they did the all hero challenge at the summit. So everyone's like, "Oh my god, these guys can play anything!" Rah, 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 rah.
Well, they can.
Apart from techies, they refuse to play techies.
Yeah, they play Dota.
They don't play techies. Play Dota. Okay, we didn't have to agree with that phrase that much, guys. Come on, get off it. Get off it. Get off it.
Normally.
All right, so last pick up for Optic. 15 seconds. No more reserve time left. How do they bring these lanes together? It's difficult. Like, at least have some answers to Broodmother, but a lot of single target. And it's PL. If you go single target, we'll just mass spam up the PL.
Okay, if this goes late, this PL pick is totally godlike.
Yeah.
It is
But they
so good.
But how does it work in the laning phase?
I think PL has one truly bad lane here, which is Weaver. I think that matchup is really rough. But it should do okay against... Well, it doesn't want to be against Brood either.
Yeah.
They want...
They've got him on the side, right? So a CC is on the Monkey King.
They want Monkey against Brood. And if they accomplish at least that, the rest is passable. And then ideal is also PL not against Weaver. If Optic can get that and get to the late game, I think this PL is just going to run them over. Like, there's no counter in this game.
Well, maybe this could be our first game today where we see TP lane rotations until everyone gets the matchup they want to have.
It could happen. There could be some TP swaps.
Why does Brewmaster look like Tusker with that set? He looks... And is his light like almost a smoking pipe?
I don't know. When I look at that thing he has on his head, all I can think of is the old what were
Little doctors?
No, the old cameras that used.
The flash bulbs.
Yeah. What was it? What is the element they use?
Uh,
Magnesium.
No, I just know they broke
the
light
thing that
bulbs.
made the flash was, I think you burnt some magnesium or something, and that made the flash effect. That's how they or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something is telling me. Whatever.
I just know them as flash bulbs. But yeah, that thing.
That's the technical term.
So we'll take a couple of pictures from Brewmaster, who looks like Tusker, who is kind of a little bit of everything.
Oh, this draft is all over the place, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it's really hard to predict how this game goes because so much of it comes down to if either team gets the exact lanes they want. If VP get Brood not against the Monkey, it's amazing. If they get him against Monkey, it's still okay. But yeah, in my mind, there's a timer on VP. They need to win the game before it goes way too late. And
Well,
Lancer takes it.
VPO look to get aggressive. We'll see if Solo can get as many stacks up on intelligence steals we saw from OG earlier today with No-Tell. But a 4-man smoker down south. Pykat's going to be the man they want to target. And Pykat's going to be the one who breaks the smoke. A quick curse on him. They put out the Bramble, and Pykat, he'll have to doppelganger himself away. Tries to dodge a little bit. PPD's in the neighborhood. Wave of Terror is his first level up. And Pykat needs the life to survive, and he's got the distance. No one
30 seconds.
unable to finish the job, but he'll have to go all the way back to base before he runs back out again.
And he has to skill Doppelganger level 1, which means he has zero laning pressure until he's level 2. Like, both of PL's other skills are what you want to skill to secure CS or just to pressure early on. So this is already a victory for VP to force this. That already helps for sure.
Oh, at least VP are able. It's still going to be a normal split of the runes because 33 as well as I own this top lane area. No one's around it, so it will be Ramses in the mid versus the Monkey King. So VP had the lane matchup they didn't really want to have. My God, that's annoying.
I think for VP, this is the matchup that they would prefer not to have for Brood. But I think the most important thing is that Brood has a solo lane.
Yeah.
And I think this is the way they secure it, right? Like, if you side lane Brood this patch, how often can you really solo it?
It may be a
really
win
hard.
anyway. Like, if this courier snipe happens and the salve gets taken out, like, Solo doesn't have the observer ward down. They don't see him, but he knows his position, sees everything. So this courier snipe, they weren't even looking for it. And this courier goes down. Goodbye salve and CCNC's aggressiveness.
I still think he can play the lane aggressively for a while. He's not going to need any regen until Brood is level 3. You'll see him just take free CS. He's going to hit the Brood a couple times, force Brood to play defensively to avoid Jingu, and then he'll take CS.
Yep.
So.
And Ramses has to come in close to fight this.
He's doing a pretty good job getting a couple of CS on the Brood. He'll get some CS on the tower too, probably.
Well, sentry wards are down up on top lane, so no one thinks he can try and dodge away from the searing arrows of Zai, but we'll see his consumables put to the test, and we'll also see the pull of Roger put to the test, but that's why Zai already has the observe ward back behind the tower. They want to know the second Roger does this, cancel clarity, stop the pull, keep the lane equilibrium.
Man, I can't remember the last time I saw position 4 Brew. That's been a while.
That's a classic. Oh, hang on. Find the ward. Find the ward. Too late. Claps, Bramble, Zai will be able to run around it. Nice cut through the tree so we can take that eastern road.
Not the best Brambles there from Roger. Didn't exactly get the the angles covered. And Zai finds the one way out, so nicely done. that's a spell, by the way, that we're going to see more Dark Willow this tournament than we've seen in recent tournaments, probably. And one of the big reasons, I think, is Brambles are so strong level 1. The damage is big. It got increased from 100 to 140. It's like the Crystal Nova treatment, basically, that the Brambles got. Very strong.
CCNC so close to killing off about 5-6 of those Spiderlings with one swipe. It's going to be some good money for him later on. No one's just having a real hard day up on top lane.
Oh,
He's going to have to burn the Sal pretty soon.
Not good.
Oh yeah, Ramsey's got him low.
Oh, he's fine.
He's got a Fairy Fire,
He's
however.
got a full heal now. Just needs to smack the wave. Maybe he wants to get some spiders too.
Yeah, looks for him. You'll clip a couple. They're going again up on top. Zai, really, really low as Roger. Actually didn't commit to try and chase down Zai, even when he's inside the Shadow Realm. Zai willing to walk a little bit closer again. Mid lane, Ramses is low on life, but Solo coming in with a double damage rune. It's actually CCNC who's dying, and that'll be the first blood. Ramses just jukes it around the cliff. Just need a little bit of extra help with the DD Solo, able to do exactly that.
Yeah, nice movement from Solo. I think maybe Optic should have known this was coming, because when it's the offlane support that rotates minute 3, it very quickly becomes apparent when the safe laners don't face that silencer in this situation. Like, why is silencer not hitting PPD?
PPD's dead too.
Yep.
He throws out the stun after being cursed, so he's already locked himself into death. So Solo will get his +2. He didn't claim it for the other one. Nice doppelganger away. He's trying to juke it with the illusions.
He tried to avoid the power shot, but he still got hit. So didn't work exactly like Pycat wanted. This early laning stage is going very well for VP. Getting the kill for Brood first, so he's having a good time in this lane that's hard for him in the beginning.
Yeah.
And securing Pasha a good start too. Sure, no one will catch up later with his Weaver.
CCNC. Just loving his CS score, even though I know a lot of it is spiders. Actually, even with the death, it's 1600 to 2200. There's
He's dead.
Yep.
Last shot.
Back underneath the tower.
This might give away the ward, though. I think he knows that Klinks doesn't get this hit off unless there's an obs behind the tower, so maybe he can find that before it expires.
Got a minute and 20 to do it. Curry's finally coming out, making some recovery treks towards mid.
Oh, he's rushing phase.
Yeah, he's also going to get ganked on. Roger's coming in. Looking for a bramble, throws it down, misses once again. Not exactly what Roger was hoping for, and actually had Zai do his own rotation. I think Roger feels a little uncertain about this movement, but he's still got the Shadow Realm, so he'll be fine.
I'm surprised CCNC goes phase here instead of Aquila first. I thought that was going to be his default in this situation. Like, the phase boots give good damage, so you can try to kill the spiders with Boundless, but the extra armor and just the higher stats of having Aquila seems really, really useful for this particular matchup at this time. I don't think he's going to be able to run down and kill the Brood with phase boots. Brood's still faster than you anyway.
Yep.
So, not completely sure about this. We'll see how it goes.
Well, and a small issue, but looks like the teams are good to go again.
Normally. Oh, wait, no, I couldn't.
Oh, so they didn't respond when we said go? Let's try the chat wheel.
It's a good way to do it. 33 in Viz, using his skeleton walk to get away. Actually wants to try and turn around. The clap is out. The Dark Willow, however, with the extra life, 33 will have the distance, and Roger is forced to throw everything into the Brewmaster, not the target he wanted to do it on. As I'm looking at that, Ramses finds a kill on CCNC. This is not the greatest game even for Pycat. Like, you start begging the question, like, how many lanes have actually been won by Optic? And it feels like none is the answer, especially as PPD is going to go down again.
Optic are getting crushed right now. Like, this is not good. We said all they need to, well, not all they need to do, but what they need to do is they need to try to get into this mid-late game situation without being run over too fast early on, because PL will be amazing this game.
Yeah.
But this mid lane is a travesty.
The TPing in the
This
Brood.
is really not good.
He goes for a clap, but Silence is nearby. PPD makes his way over too, but they want CCNC. The Spiderlings and Solo go over towards CCNC as Ramses looks for another target. Monkey King, does he pop? The curse will do it.
Oh,
And Ramses is the one to find the kill, so now they've turned their attention over towards Zai. Another clap out, but stick charges and raindrops protecting Solo for so long. Ramses wants to be able to hit, but that drunken brawler, Solo can turn again. Really? How many times can he do this and still survive? How is there no level of punishment? It was a 3-on-2, but it's a 3-on Brood.
Toby, Monkey King is not a good comeback hero. Did you know that?
I did know that, but it's always good to reiterate the crappy mess that Optic is in.
Yeah, this is not good. He's level 5 and Brute is level 8 and has taken his tower minute 7.
And
this
now
is
controls
not-
his jungle.
This is not the way this lane should have gone, but what happened was the one rotation from Solo that got them the first blood projected or like
Zai's dead.
it just pushed.
The curse is
that
out.
is pretty loud.
Silence. This is +8 now for Solo.
They've just propelled this Broodmother out of control already, actually. It's such a big advantage that Ramses is now running CCNC down in the mid lane.
Yep. That's what Ramses loves to do, though. You give him that space. Looks like 33 at least able to get some kind of rebuttal onto Solo underneath the Dire Observer Ward as well. But this is that power of Clinks, and normally a good comeback mechanic, good comeback hero, Clinks is able to slip through the back lines, take tier 1 towers, grab supports, try and tilt the status quo.
33's game is pretty good right now. I think he's got what he needs on the Clinks.
Pasha and Solo going in after Pycat. Jukes for half a second. Pasha in pretty deep. The Windrun's giving in the protection and goes straight after Phantom Lancer. Stick charges can't let him survive, so he runs back up again, avoids the power shot, and then lances over towards Solo. This could be huge if Pycat survives, but he will not. It will be a trade-off, a 2-for-1. But it's the PL, the hero that's meant to be your saving grace, and no one with a double damage rune. A little bit more difficult because the Drunken Brawler, but just chases after Zai. A level 4 Brewmaster. He cannot survive that. No one will get the kill, and time lapses off every bit of damage done to him.
I'm looking at how Optic need to approach this game because you're under so much pressure against Broodmother, and your communication in this game, you have to plan your next move. Like they have to think about, okay, how do we alleviate this pressure? What's the solution? Are we going to hunt and try to kill the Brood, or are we going to go and kill the other heroes? And I think no matter what your answer is, your Clinks has to be involved right now. I don't think anyone else on this map is going to do anything. Monkey King is tied down to this mid lane. If he leaves the lane for just 30 seconds, his tower is in a lot of trouble. Brood is farming all of his jungle, pushing in his lane. If you move the Brewmaster around, he's a level 4 support. This is not your classic Brewmaster mid at 9. He's not going to be able to get split off yet. And your safe lane, well, PL's very greedy and he went Ring of Health. He's not going to go for you.
Oh, they see CNC's alone. There's your jump, caught inside of a bramble, able to get the stun off. But not enough space to be created. This guy doesn't even have Tree Dance. There's no way to do it. And then a Shadow Realm TP out.
Good skill
Safest way for Roger to escape.
I think this is exactly how you skill with Monkey King in this game, by the way. You go 4 in the stun as fast as possible. This is not that common usually. Monkey King will max out Jingu or get a value point in Tree Dance, but you need the 4 in stun to be able to kill off Spiderlings and buy enough time to disengage. So definitely agree with that.
Under the Observer and Sentry, no one. He was just hanging around for the 10-minute rune. And they're going to get all 4 bounty runes. No room for Optic. And they just see 33. Like, they'll know when 33 gets involved. Like, you keep calling for it, but he's farming underneath the Observer and Sentry. So they'll see when he runs up north looking for a kill. They'll see when he backs off and goes towards the mid. And thanks to the mass amounts of Observers and Sentries the VP have in this mid lane, I guess impossible for Optic to surprise Ramses. He owns this mid. So maybe they go... okay, no. Yeah, VP just take bottom lane instead.
Damn, CCNC is really farmed. Toby has 160 last hits. 116, I mean.
Yeah, for his net worth of 3.3k.
116 CS.
Compared to the 5.8k.
He's 30 CS, 40 CS ahead of the Broodmother. Surely he's crushing his lane. Oh, Brood has Diffusal. That's a problem.
We could watch Zai die.
He might actually survive this, CCNC. Yeah, he just barely got out of that. Good stun.
Meanwhile, Brewmaster died. He actually died almost in his tier 3 tower on top lane. Just being dived out of their minds. And hey, look, they left mid lane. Ramsey's forcing it with the catapult wave. So if Optic want to try and come down to bottom lane to defend against VP's push, they have to let their mid lane go. Finally, some sentries coming in from PPD. Hoping that Ramses will commit to some kind of fight so 33 can open up on him. It's the end of the death pack, so there it is. Pull him in, swap him up. Global silence is out, but it won't matter, or will it? Ramses into the trees and away. No way does he get away with this.
Oh, they have
He
no idea where he
does.
went.
They didn't know he ran up. They thought he ran down, or at least hung around.
That's such a fast global from Solo. That was super good communication. Pretty much instantly when he gets swapped, they global, and they do get him out of there. Very nice from VP. I wonder how many, by the way, I'm joking about these Monkey King CS obviously, but I wonder how many of his CS are spiders. Because
Yeah.
when it says these 120, it's a bit difficult to grasp like how the mid lane truly went.
Good stun. They got no one.
Big kill.
They were really trying to hunt him down hard. But
Radiant structures
I still wonder what is the cost, and
This bottom tower, Pasha is pressuring it a lot with his side lane Wind Ranger here. Going for the 0-3-4 build. Maxing Wind Run is pretty common nowadays.
here comes Brewmaster. I say that as though he's a core.
He's level 5.
Yeah, he's a level 5 trying to hit level 6.
They gave PPD the tome for that swap play earlier, I think. So Zai still
Sentries
has a bit to
everywhere.
go.
They see 33 so clearly. And 33 should know this. That sentry ward they planted previously was dewarded. So defensive observe wards up from PPD. That is a pretty tight channel that they want to try and control in mid. But thanks to the observe ward that's nice and aggressive from VP. Very close to the tower. Optic will not want to commit a sentry ward to get rid of that. But they'll try and find the kill with Clinks. He's just got the Javelin to work with, and Pasha's already on the run.
Radiant's middle
Even
tower
burns a
is under
regeneration
attack.
rune. Onto the sentry, 33. Pasha should have caught vision of this for a quick moment, but with Wind Run down.
Why do you hate gingers
Nice timing.
so?
Yeah.
From Optic. That's a small window when it's level 4 Wind Run. It has 6 seconds downtime, so they kind of have to catch Wind Runner almost right after.
He had half a second before that Wind
Yeah,
Run was back
that
up
close.
again.
And it does dodge. It does dodge projectiles that are mid-air as well.
Dark Willow into the Terrorize, trying to force the Phantom Lancer to run into the Bramble. Able to do so, but Doppelganger down. And Curse PPD. He's got a stun available, finds the right target, connects onto no one. But Pycat, man, one curse after the other. He just can't survive, and no one will run through him. He time lapses just at the very end. He waited maximum duration for this. Meanwhile, Zai is being hunted by Pasha as well as Ramses back in towards the mid lane. So you get a kill on a Dark Willow, but your trade-off is your PL and Brewmaster.
No bueno.
Well, if you're Optic, what's the opposite of that? If you're if
Mucho bueno.
mucho better. PP looking very good.
That's pretty much everything I know in Spanish, by the way.
It's
Is
more
it
than I knew.
Spanish?
This is Spanish. I only ever know the really bad accent. That's all. Ramses is not giving up on this mid. He's
All
gonna
right,
go.
it's-
He's
it's
gonna go
muy-
BKB build as well.
I just glanced over. It's muy bueno.
Oh,
So what is mucho? Isn't that also a word? Am I making things up here?
mucho is a lot, right?
I don't know.
Maybe just it's the context of it all needs to be right.
I'm sure I said something that was understandable.
Oh, Pasha's on the run once again. Waits around under Invis for the 15-minute bounty runes, and here we go again. Zai knows. Invis hero standing right on top of him, and VP claim all of the 15-minute bounty runes. They are really being on point on this.
Got all the 10 minutes, all the 15s. How
Yep.
many of the the 5-minute ones did they get?
I
I think 3. Or?
it was three or two.
Yeah. It's such a big lead that they've already managed to build
Oh.
now. 7,000 gold is... it's no joke.
How much does Zai wish he had something more like a Tuskar instead of this Brewmaster? He wants the hero that Brew looks like with this set on. Not the hero he's got. Oh, swap. Into the stun. They found him. Global Silence comes in. And there's no real follow-up onto Ramsey. In fact, it just allows Pasha to run in real close. Brewmaster has to go into the split. Ramsey still hasn't got down the hillside. Now he does so, but the Earthling Brew Spawn, it actually does enough. They'll send him up and towards the air. Is there more damage? Up the hill, Lancers and Searing Arrows. Ramsey's finally brought down. 33 is the man to claim the money for it, 500.
No one?
And damn, Optic needed something, and they got something.
That's the biggest kill they could get. It did cost them a lot of time, though, but...
It just relieves pressure.
Global was burned. for VP as well, so it's pretty good. It's global for Primal Split and a kill on Brood. It doesn't get much better than this right now, to be honest. Like, realistically, you're not going to find a much better fight than that one.
They may be thinking about it. Actually, no, they're not. They're not thinking about Jack. There's nothing to be had. Pycat still needs his farm. He wants to get the diffuser blade up and running. Cause some kind of like range spam that's problematic to Virtus.pro and not just easily dealt with. CNC is also building up. Now finished up the Shadow Blade. So he can at least stand inside of his Wukong for a little longer. Then again, with the amount of observers and sentries that VP's been buying, that may be problematic. As now VP go in for Roshan. The Dire Scan is out. No information from the Radiant. Good deep observer wards inside the mid lane as well, so they know what's going on. And now the pings are coming, but it's too late. The VP have already claimed Roshan.
Instant smoke.
Yep.
Look for the next move.
CCNC's waiting. He'll break the smoke. Sentry wall gets planted. Dust as well. CCNC's out of range of it.
Close call.
Dire's top tower is under
So
attack.
first item, Shadow Blade on
Dire's
Monkey King
structures
is
are fortified.
not as common as the Echo Saber build. But I think in this game, CCNC just feels like he needs to be able to position himself to get an ulti off.
Oh, PPD's found a friend.
That's not a friend.
Oh, he's got a friend nearby.
Yep.
Stance is stun. Is TP out. There is no stun, as Shackle was already used.
Actually, didn't want to use the Terrorize for that. Thought it was more valuable to save it. I'm sure that one would have connected in time, and Roger knows that.
CCNC has got to stop farming underneath observer wards.
Radiant's bottom
This
tower
entire
is
game,
under
like VP just knows exactly where he wants to farm. So they're watching his item progression.
Yeah, CCNC, just play outside the wards, dude.
Yeah, they're everywhere. I
Just go
know.
somewhere else. They're right there, man.
How do you not know?
They have a ward in every lane, so be like, where do you go, honestly? Like, VPCs, they have basically grabbed themselves 70% of the map. If you look at the map right now and you think of the wards that they have as like a new line, you just draw
Yeah, here.
down there.
Yeah.
So
Cut it
VP
off.
owns everything to the right of them. They own all of it. And you got to alleviate that pressure. You can't just accept playing on 30 or 40% of the map until this game ends, because I don't think that will give enough space to the PL. It's not going to work.
So they just need. Well, how do you relieve that pressure? They did it before when they killed off Ramses, but doing that again is going to be more difficult. He's got a full BKB completed.
Key ward from Solo again.
Oh, man's a king of this. They're taking bottom lane now. There's nothing Optic can do to stop this. No one's already way too strong. They can just delay it.
There's an Aegis on this Weaver as well.
Oh, they found PPD.
Yeah, he's on the...
Hey, he was trying to get rid of the ward. He put a sentry down looking for it.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
The sacrificial ward scout.
It's a very selfless act. He kind of has to do it. Like,
Yeah.
somebody got to do it. Either they make a team move and try to de-ward with a team move, or he has to take risks. And he can die every time. They have no idea what's going on.
19 minutes in, VP try and go high ground. They curse up Zai. You still got Bruce split available, and they found Monkey King. The perfect control, the follow-up Terrorize. Can they actually kill off CCNC before he can react? He's silenced for the moment. Now he can one-charge. He already went to the Shadow Blade, but there was no way he could hide. They had the dust, they had the detection, and the Brewmaster split was not providing enough control, and they don't have the players. PL can TP back. Clinks is now only just starting to do it. They've already taken the tier 3 tower. Brewmaster split has ended, and the curses just continue. VP, they are owning this Optic base. The buybacks are up.
Radiant's bottom tower
And they really are doing all of this for the greater Pycat. Solo can get stunned up. Nice searing arrows from 33 to find the kill there, but now Ramses into the BKB. 33's got the damage. These are actually huge kills for Optic if they can keep claiming more, but then the lockdown, the Curse Crown onto the Clinks. He couldn't run away, but VP, they still haven't claimed the lane of ranks. They've lost 4 heroes. Yes, they forced buybacks, 2 of them on the Brew as well as the VS. But is that what they wanted?
Check the fight recap.
top tower
Okay.
Like nothing changed. Pretty much nothing changed.
There was one thing, though, which doesn't get calculated on this, and that was the amount of space the PL got, because this does not
Yeah.
calculate in the team fight recap. So he finished both of his Blades of Alacrity.
He went for Vanguard too. I think he's scared that he's just going to get eaten alive by Broodmother, all
Yeah.
the spiders, but it's also a great item against the Weaver. Like, Vanguard has a lot of value here, and if Pycat feels like they can buy enough time that he can go for that little bit of a stop on the way, it could pay off big later on.
Well, no one's found Pycat, but then again, there's a lot of Pycat to deal with. And no one's still got to try and find the real one. Vengeful Spirit's nearby, and wow, there's no one. Yeah, he's doing this. Wind Ranger's on her way down. She has the Blink Dagger, but Pycat's out.
If no one really wanted to go for that, he still had a DD in the bottom. So he was just
He was just trying to force him out of the jungle.
force him away. Don't let him farm. And if he baits rotation as well, which there was like half a rotation coming from PPD, there's even a little added bonus. And VP are just back down here, controlling the area again.
Yep.
Like you said, though, that Klink's MKB proved to be really important there in killing off the Broodmother fast enough. We'll see if Ramses plays it a little bit more cautiously in the next fight. If he has that Insatiable Hunger running and BKB, I don't think he dies right now.
Radiant's bottom
There's still such an early BKB too. They need to make this work. Observers, sentry. They threw down 3. 33 now with the curse crowned on him. And the double curse connected onto Zai.
is under
And he's just going to brutally split. Nope, they're slowing it down.
Mage's
Aegis
down.
Immortal is now timed out. They're looking towards the Weaver. With a double damage triggered, he's backing out. But remember, this is a split game.
That looked
Ramsey's just forcing in the mid lane.
That looked like they did not have the Aegis timed. It was like, oh shit. I get out of there. He
They-
managed to escape. They didn't have to global to save him even, so.
I like how they're giving the farm to Zai. He's, okay, he has to clap because he missed the timing on it. But
He's not
it's a
back.
Blink Dagger.
He still has to be cautious with blink clap splitting because he can get globaled after he blink claps. So he might have to use it to just blink split.
But he needs the damage, right? He needs to Blink clap onto the Spiderlings, onto the push.
They can deal with the Spiderlings with
the Monkey King?
with Dispel.
Oh,
And
with
the,
Dispel?
the Storm Panda kills all of them. They're summons.
Okay.
So at least I believe so. I think they should. Yeah, it's summoned units. So it should kill them all. I think it did actually happen one time in the bottom lane. I'm pretty sure he dispelled all of Ramsey's army, which is really nice.
Oh,
Probably part of the
swap.
reason-
They found Pasha?
Oh,
No,
nice.
they didn't find shit. Pasha's running away. Sorry, we can use that word during group stage, right? Yeah, we're fine.
Gabe, if you're watching, we didn't mean it.
I'm sorry, Gabe. I'm sorry. Pasha, blink, perfect
Oh.
shackle, 33 and Zion locked together. The Terrorites as well, so they can't instantly react. More dust, more reveal. Where are these buybacks? They'll be put to the test right now. Klink's using his. The tower is low. No one able to get back out with the time lapse, so a lot of that damage being negated. As a quick stun onto Ramsey. The shackle!
God, get outta
Pasha!
here.
He's the real 2X! PPD's gonna get ripped apart. The Klinks is down. That's the die back out from him. And CC&C, the Curse Crown follow-up stun. Solo is low, so at least they get something back out of this. Hilarious enough, they still haven't claimed the lane of Rax. Pasha was looking towards the mid, but hey, maybe now he'll rejoin the bottom fight. The tier 3 tower is so low on life. The fortification will buy some time for Optic. But Pasha, so damn good. And he leveled up Shackle last. They're looking for more. CC&C runs
good
forward,
start.
able
No
to get the
mana.
stun. Weaver gets the time lapse off.
Oh yeah, he has level 3 ult. Never mind. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. But he's still on the run out of here.
If that was a level 2 ult, he's dead. He literally had 0. But obviously.
I'm loving these wards from VP. They've got one inside the base away from Optic Sentry ward. They even know there's a deep ward inside their base. And they didn't find it. Bruling split ends. Searching for Ramses. Nothing comes from it. You're still getting some more items up and running for Optic. So the Blink Dagger was already up, obviously. But BKB from CC&C.
The absolute biggest item right now is ICAT's next item. That is...
The Manta.
Yeah, they have to just buy time for this. Like, because of their... So what VP does have, they have 2 Maelstroms, and it is gonna, for now, be enough. But once that Manta style comes out, I'm not sure if they can kill off the illusions fast enough. Like, when they just overwhelm them really quickly. Weaver...
Pasha. Shackle. Flies. Will latch. As Monkey King obviously jumping to trees. He's surrounded by trees.
I missed the power shot. He thought he caught him earlier with the shackle, I guess. He could have solo killed him there. If he was patient and knew where the shackle landed, he could power shot for a 4-second stun and then focus fire him to death.
Speaking of patience, VP won't have to wait much longer. Roshan's up in 1 minute. Is this something that Optic can even think about contesting at all?
Yes, I think they can. And the way they do it is they get off a primal split and a wave of terror, and then they try to just isolate anyone with PL in the beginning of the fight. And if VP responds, they might be able to get off a good Monkey King ulti. So
PPD's
it's not
coming
easy.
over with
It's
Observer
not
Sentry, so at least he can plan it for vision nearby. Oh god, they're taking so long to get out there. And that Observer Ward inside the base is gone now. They smoke up. They are out of range of any vision from VP, but you see the position of Roger. He's waiting in front of Roshan, got the perfect Obs and Sentry up. Roshan 7 seconds away. Power Shot will not be able to scout it out, so instead, Optic will go for the long wraparound.
It's already pinged by no one.
Yeah.
He's trying to break it here.
And Clinks, well, he's invis. He'll break it. Wave of Terror flies out. They put a defensive Observer Ward up on the hill.
Great read.
The VP still have the tier 1 tower. Like, I don't know how Optic are meant to win this when the tier 1 tower's there. Like,
That is indeed a
buyback-wise,
very big problem.
actually, buyback-wise, there's only Wind Ranger who has buyback. Silence is just a little bit short. But the lanes are pushing in. And Pycat's still working towards that Manta style. He's only got a 1.9k surplus. Roshan's up. And already the power shots from Pasha are clearing off the trees that Monkey King can use.
The challenge for VP here is not to get the Rosh. They'll get that for sure at this point. Like, the Radiant side is way too far back in their base. They're going to smoke. I think they will be too late, regardless.
Yeah, that
they're
damage
too late.
output's...
They hit so fast and hard here. They have AC on Brood. Goes really quick. So the challenge isn't getting this Aegis and Cheese. The challenge is setting up a fight in the enemy base that they win convincingly enough that they can get 2 lanes of Rax. Because I think even getting 1 lane of Rax right now doesn't completely end the game. As such, they need a bigger advantage than that to ensure that PL doesn't full-on start overtaking the game. Like, they have a big lead, don't get me wrong. They're very, very favored to win this game.
Yeah.
But
Would you like to see their favor? Actually, it's only 68% according to
that's the
win
thing.
probability.
That is PL. That graph is PL's win chance. Or 100 minus PL's win chance.
Zion PPD. Roger walks in nice and close. They got clapped. CCNC jumps in. A quick global silence means Monkey King's actually stuck up on the tree line. And now it's Brewmaster who gets the split off. Just in time he gets it off. But there's more trouble for Clinks. VS has to swap him out of the Wukong command. But Ramsey's under the cover of BKB. Just chases down CCNC. This kill they will be able to claim. And that's 1 hero who can't buy back. Make it 2. The Brilliant Split's going to last a little bit longer. It's up to Pycat. He needs to find something out of this. The curses are out. Zai will get a quick clap. But it's Pycat versus the world that is Virtus.pro. Another Bramble. Triple kill for Roger of all people. And Optic Gaming pushing up the daisies. At least their base will look nice with some flowers.
I kind of didn't like this that much from Optic because I feel like they gave VP what they wanted, right? This was the kind of fight that VP were supposed to set up for themselves, and I think Optic just made it a little bit too easy for them by going out in the middle of nowhere out here and just getting globaled on and open. This fight in their own base is a lot harder for VP, but now that they gave it for free, that's definitely 1 lane of Rax. The question is if they can get more out of this for now.
That's why Pycat's trying to slow it up. Monkey's up in 3 seconds time. VP probably won't want to overstay. Ramsey's burning that BKB down to 6 seconds. They can still swap through that, but remember, he's got the extra life through the form of the cheese, and exactly what he uses. The follow-up's done. He's actually dropping low, but Ramsey's, the damage is still dealt. 33 goes down. They want more, and they need more Optic. They need something. Sentry Wards give them the extra vision, but they're chasing after no one. His BKB will wear off in 1 second time. Solo will give him a little extra movement speed thanks to the drums, but then again, time-lapse is down, and he's got no mana to work with. So no one will fall. The Aegis Immortal will pop.
He just time-lapsed back and still didn't have mana. How often do you see a Weaver time-lapse and not have mana for Shikuchi? That's a rarity.
Well, at least he can run off to the side. Blink forward. They've still got the extra vision. CCNC jumps forward. Needs to hit him a couple more times, and now he can slap him down. No one on the run. Got the movement speed, and yeah, they don't see him anymore. And Pasha's in the neighborhood. They can't keep the chase going.
So now, what are we at? 18,000 lead.
It was only 1 lane of Rax, though.
1 lane of Rex, and Aegis and Cheese were expended. So the question is if VP can get the 2nd lane without another Rosh. I think it's still not that clear cut that they just end this game. And Pycat will have the Manta style coming out in 40 gold. That is a big item.
He needs the space, though. And the hunt's coming in from Virtus.pro, and Pycat may be that man. You won 40 gold, but he's got no camps to farm up.
They're actually going for this with Brood dead. That is so aggressive.
They're going to come underneath the Radiant Observer Ward. The smoke is still got enough time, though. They'll make their way up. Zai reveals him, the smoke. He blinks very, very quickly. Terrorize flies out, and it actually connects onto 33. He's already in this. They drop the sentry as well as the dust, so the vision is up, not to mention the shackle. Of course it is. Gosh, it's just going to land everything. But Roger, the kill the Pycat can go for. Finding it, PPD's run over for support. The BKB's down for Virtus.pro. Maybe they're a little bit more cautious. When the stuns connect onto Solo, CCNC can just get into this battle. He'll take the kill, but no one. His BKB back off cooldown, chasing after the Monkey King with the beetles on him. He knows there's no way he can hide out, and PPD's in exactly the same type of position. Pasha is searching for him in the tree lines, and he's going to find him. They're going to bump noses. The creep wave will come up to help PPD, but really this is the funeral parade, and Pasha taunting him with a love kiss. I said bumping noses, not lips. he's taunting so hard at the trees.
Hello.
Just hold him here. PPD will finally die. Meanwhile, back in the real fight in mid lane. I didn't want to leave the top lane. Pycat, the full line of defense. Zai can blink in for a clap. He's got no real way to get back out of this one, so he dies almost instantly. Buybacks galore. They'll get the clamps on onto the Brute Mother, who's now going to BKB. Insatiable hunger up. CCNC. Decisions are regretted, and PPD will fall down as well. There is nowhere safe on the map for the Optic Gaming captain. And, well, the silence, Pycat, well, thanks to Manta, he could dodge the last ticks of damage from it and regenerate back in his base, but there's that second lane of racks going down.
And this should
Has fallen.
probably be the end. They could just try to go for the GG here. There's 30 seconds on Venge, 20 on Brew, 50 on Monkey, and they know the buybacks were expended for both Monkey King and Venge, so basically a 5-on-3 situation
Clanks.
when the Brew spawns.
Into the back line, going after Pasha. The damage is negligible. Windrun just too good, and that is forced buyback out from Clinks now. They even get the Bramble initial stun on PL, but Doppelganger up. Okay, maybe just walk straight back into it. A little bit of Miss Micro. But 33 without his Death Pact available doesn't really hit hard enough. And the rest of VP are bailing out. 2 racks up. They can't take the third. Tier 2 tower
Racks,
still up.
2 tier 4s. If this top tier 2 was gone, they would have gone for Megas probably.
Yeah.
But not an option in that situation. They're preparing it though.
Radiant's top tower
At this point.
is under attack.
Pasha looks to set up. I don't know if he's going to get this tower though. Depends if Optic are going to try to.
I don't think Optic
seem
can
like
take.
they're trying.
Optic cannot take a fight outside. Like everyone has buyback or cooldown apart from Brew, who doesn't have money.
Radiant's top shrine. has
VP can
fallen.
just buy their way through if Optic want to try and fight outside, unless they get the jump. And they get the slap onto Pasha, but he's still on the run out here. Roger's nearby, and he's the easier target, but maybe not. Shadow Realm, CCNC. Yeah, okay.
They have no way of stopping that TP out in Shadow Realm after Boundless.
Yeah. And they go all the way back to base. Into a very, very safe position. We can wait for the next Roshan. He may spawn up in a minute and a half. Meanwhile, bigger items coming in. Ramses. I'm seeing a relic in his inventory.
Yep. Don't get too excited, Toby. It's a nullifier. Who knows? Who knows? Ramses might just be crazy enough to go for repeat.
And then loses,
But why?
Then loses the game. It's like, sorry, boys, my bad. It's fine. These VP's always laughing and giggling away when they're inside their booth.
There it is.
So Basher in for Pycat. So at least some kind of potential lockdown chance through the heavy BKBs. That is, yeah, nullify for the Brood. He's down to a 5-second BKB. What do we got? We got 5 seconds on the Weaver as well, and win range is at 9 seconds.
Tower is under attack.
So not a lot of immunity time for them. And Optic's coming out for a fight. Observer and Sentry down, however. The smoke doesn't break on PPD. Global silence is out, and they all just want to bail the hell out of here. Terrorize jumps forward. Clinks cannot TP out in time. And the shackle, it caught Zai. My God, Pasha. Love. There's a shackle with his name on it. CCNC will fall. And that's the game. 3 euros down. That's there is no way that Optic can now fight this one. Even with the first hit bash from Pycat onto no one, he'll time-lapse off the damage, and GG is called. Virtus.pro will 2-0 in their first series of TIA.
This was a really interesting, it was interesting to see this game play out with how the draft went in order. We saw a first phase Brood pick after Clinks, and that basically put VP in a position where they could force the Clinks to play in the side lane. I still think 33 did a really good job in lane on his Clinks. He had a pretty solid game, but the mid lane just fell apart so fast. CCNC got outplayed, the gank from Silencer got the kill. Afterwards, Ramses gets the solo kill, gets the tower, and that lane just falls apart so quickly. That's what happens with Brood. And you need to avoid getting into these situations where if you have a Monkey King versus Brood mid, the only way he dies is if he gets ganked. Like, there is no other way Brood gets a kill in that lane unless you screw up royally until Brood is level 6.
Yeah.
But the Silencer managed to somehow find a way of rotating off that bottom lane at minute 230, walk all the way to mid, get a DD rune, and backstep CCNC. And it was like, it looked like Optic either hadn't communicated it or that CCNC didn't respect it. It's hard for us to know what the reason is, but that kill, sometimes one kill makes a huge difference, and that really changed the entire game. I think it must have been relatively telegraphed. Like, you're playing, what was the lane, safe lane? Venge PL against Windrunner Silencer. Silencer is going to play aggressive in that lane all the time because they are favored. So when he isn't playing aggressively anymore, it means he's going somewhere.
Yeah.
And they have to have their eyes on that move.
Yeah.
It's really important. And I know now I'm putting like the whole game on those first 5 minutes, but really, that Brood took over the game so fast.
I'm also wondering if there's any way to really try and save him. I mentioned halfway through, like,